Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, September 16th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the number 8th ranked Washington Huskies. Go Dogs! Versus the Michigan State Spartans. Should be a good one. Michael Penix Jr. Ooh, baby, let's go. And he's going to be going against Noah Kim. I'm ready. And this is on Peacock exclusive. I got Peacock on the computer, and I also have it on my TV. And I noticed that the feed that's on the computer is slightly faster than the feed on TV. So if you are wanting to watch it as live as possible, I would recommend watching it on the app on your computer. If you end up watching it through your app on your television, it's going to end up having about a 30-second delay like you typically get when you stream a game on the internet. So just giving everyone the heads up. But I still have the TV on, and I got the computer on, and as long as there's no lag, I'll be able to kind of watch them at the same time. And then I might end up putting up the Oregon State game or North Carolina game up as well. Let's go, baby. MSU Detroit fan in the building. He said, let's go Michigan State. Matt Payton in the building. What's good? And obviously, I'm going out to Olive Garden. So obviously, I'm spending time with the girlfriend. And if I wasn't doing that, then I would have obviously been doing the Duck game at 5 o'clock, versus Hawaii. Or I may have considered doing Clayton Kershaw versus Bryce Miller with the Dodgers and Mariners. But I more than likely would have done the Oregon game. I've already done like 100 Mariner games this season. I've done a bunch, right? Oregon, there's only like 10 or 11 games. So typically I lean, towards the Ducks, if I'm going to only have that amount. But I will be watching when I'm at Olive Garden. I'll be watching the Dodgers and the Mariners, Clayton Kershaw, Bryce Miller. Go Mariners. And we definitely will be watching Oregon and Hawaii. And I know Oregon's going to end up winning that game. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. And we got the main reason that I'm here is obviously as a talent evaluator. The reason why I feel that I'm elite at fantasy and with predictions and betting and obviously team development, team management, and being able to go over player analysis is being able to watch a lot of these guys play in high school and college. Now, if you're going to make predictions and all you do is watch your own NFL team, you're not going to be good at it. Not only that, you got to be able to watch the league as a whole. I cover all 32 teams as if they were my own, but I like to go a little bit deeper and be able to check out, the quarterback class, the running back class, the defensive players. And this upcoming draft, we may have one of the best quarterback drafts from top to bottom in the last 15 or 20 years. And it's not with just this guy right here and Michael Penix Jr., right? He's one piece of it. But obviously I want to be able to evaluate him and break, kind of the stats down and how he does against better competition, how he does on the road. But obviously Caleb Williams is the front runner for the Heisman, USC. Will he pan out in the NFL? Nobody knows. But chances are it looks like he'll be at least above average, not a bust, right? We don't really know how good you're going to be, but chances are he'll be probably closer to Trevor Lawrence than Zach Wilson, right? He won the Heisman, but just because you win the Heisman doesn't mean that you're going to be a good player, a.k.a. Jameis Winston, a.k.a. Marcus Mariota. Sometimes you pan out in college and you just don't get any better. But we got Caleb Williams from USC, Pac-12, right? Who else do we got? Drake May from the ACC, North Carolina. He doesn't have as many weapons as all these other Pac-12 quarterbacks do. So obviously his stat line won't be as good, but he's an NFL-ready quarterback. Most people have Drake May as number 2 quarterback behind Caleb Williams, right? Then we got Michael Penix Jr. I think he might be the 3rd best. Hell, he might even be the 2nd best. We'll have to kind of wait and see. UW, that's why I'm here today, okay? Then you got Shedeur Sanders, Deion's son. They're going to end up smacking the hell out of Colorado State today, right? And then even a guy like Bo Nix, even though I don't necessarily put him in my, top 5 quarterbacks, he's somewhere in the top 15. But then there's other guys like Quinn Ewers, who I think is much better than Bo Nix. I would put him above Bo, and I would put him in my top 5. And then there's a few other guys from smaller schools that are kind of under the radar. So I definitely want to be able to check out Michael Penix Jr. because we don't really have any lefties in the league besides Tua. And with Tua's in the league, I want to be able to see someone that could be a compadre, an amigo, another guy that's a lefty. And can you imagine if we get the Dolphins versus like the Bucks, for example, and it's Michael Penix Jr. on the Bucks going against Tua and the Dolphins, a lefty and a lefty? We haven't seen shit like that since like the 80s and 90s when we had Boomer Esiason and we had more lefty quarterbacks, Steve Young, Michael Vick. You don't really see lefties anymore. And there is a chance that Michael Penix Jr., if he goes to the right team with the right coach, with the right weapons, the right O-line, the right defense, and the right running back to kind of relieve the pressure, I honestly feel Michael Penix Jr. could be better than Tua or be on the Tua level. Tua's hella underrated, and we already know when you give him time, even though people think he sucks, he can throw for 400 or 500 yards to Waddle and Tyreek. So sometimes it's just being in the right system at the right time. But I'm very excited about this matchup. 2-0, Michigan State with Noah Kemp, half Korean, half Caucasian. Obviously was the backup, came in there. You don't really see a lot of Asian American quarterbacks in college or in the NFL either. So that's definitely very, very cool. And then we got the Indiana transfer, Michael Penix Jr. All right. The only thing that you can really knock on him is that he gets injured a lot. And, going through, junior high, high school, Indiana, and not so much with Washington, but almost every place he's been injured to a certain degree. So as long as he can keep his health up, there's nothing that's going to, get in this guy's way of being an NFL force and at least being, I don't know if he'll be Michael Vick or Tua. I don't know if he's going to be Steve Young or maybe somewhere in between, but that's what I'm hoping for. Better than Tua, better than Michael Vick, not as good as Steve Young unless he gets on that right team, with the right weapons around him. But I'm really, really rooting for Michael Penix Jr., even though I'm a Ducks fan. Okay? I'm not stupid, and I want guys to be able to pan out in this league. And Caleb more than likely will pan out, right? Drake May, he looks like he's NFL ready. But everyone below those two guys, there's a lot of question marks. And today is the day to prove that, hey, we can get it done. All right, baby. I might be an Oregon Duck, but I'm not stupid. I recognize the talent that I see, and I'm definitely going to go out of my way to do as many Michael Penix Jr., Caleb Williams, Shedeur Sanders, Bo Nix games. We got the best quarterbacks in the best conference. All right, the Pac-12. This is the last year of the existence of the conference. So what a better way to go out with a bang where everyone wants to talk shit about our conference that we're not that good. And then now going into the very last year of the Pac-12, we might end up bringing the best quarterback class, overall as a conference going on to the next level. Now, I think Quinn Ewers is going to be good. I think Drake May is going to be good. So you got ACC, you got Big 12, you got other conferences involved. And there's a couple other guys that are under the radar that should be pretty good as well. LSU's quarterback, you got Florida State's quarterback. There's a few other, schools and quarterbacks that are out there. But most people are talking about Caleb. They're talking about Drake May. They're talking about Michael Penix Jr., Quinn Ewers, and then some people, not me, they're going to be like Bo Nix, but I don't think Bo is on the same level as those other four guys. Can Bo be one of the best in college? Yes. Can Bo end up getting an opportunity to start to see what he's about? Yes. But to me, Bo Nix, even though I'm a Duck since the 80s, he's more of a backup quarterback to me. He's only going to get a chance if someone gets hurt, and then they throw him in there, and then he takes advantage of his opportunity. He can't just go in there, and he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. No. Now, I could see Quinn Ewers being a top 15 quarterback. Michael Penix Jr., I could see that as well. And then I could also see Drake May and Caleb Williams. But other than those four, I'm not really sure if I'm sold on any other guy in the NFL up to this point. And I watch a lot of tape. I watch a lot of games. And I'm very excited about this particular matchup. I bet I'm the only one that's going to end up doing this matchup on YouTube. And obviously being here in the Pacific Northwest, we already know what it's about. It's very difficult to be able to go to the Big Ten, the ACC, the SEC, anywhere on the road. It's not going to be easy. We saw Oregon almost lose to Texas Tech. They weren't ranked, but they had Tyler Shuck, the former Oregon quarterback. So, Michigan State 2-0. Are they a fraud? We're going to find out. But I definitely think Michael Penix Jr. is going to end up getting this dub, and they're projected to win by about 16 or 17. Could be a little bit closer than that. So we'll see how it goes. It took me a minute to be able to get the thumb on point. I hope you guys love it. And, at some point, people are going to start paying me to make thumbs for them. That's big facts. And we'll hit the Spartan logo there. Okay, baby. Michael Penix Jr., UW, Michigan State. Let's go. Let's go. And again, if you guys are looking for a link to end up watching this game, like I said, there's links that are available on the streaming sites. It's on Peacock. So if you have Peacock, $5 a month, You probably, if you're a wrestling fan, you already subscribe to this shit because this is what we do when we watch WWE pay-per-views every month on NXT and WWE. So if you guys want to watch the stream on the fastest level, I recommend watching it on your computer, your tablet, wherever it's connected to a computer. If you watch it through your TV app, and I have a remote here, as you can see, right? And I got Peacock as one of the apps. I have it on my TV and I have it on the computer simultaneously, and you're about 30 seconds behind on the TV for whatever reason. And here we go, and the TV hasn't even kicked off yet. So we'll see how far back they are. Right now, it looks like it's about 20 seconds. Go. So if you want to be on the same page as me, watch it on the computer. I'm not sure if it'll work on your phone on the same speed level, but I'm on the iMac right now, and it's there. And then now they're showing the Washington, obviously, head coach there, and DeBoer, and now they're about to kick off. So it looks like about 30 seconds behind if you're watching it on the app on your TV. Recommend watching it on the computer if you can, so you guys can be on the same page as me. Let's go, baby. Let's get to 100 in donos. MSU Detroit fan in the building. Sarah in the building. Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Let's go. Georgia down 14-3. SEC overrated? Is it finally time that Georgia and Alabama are going to go down? And then we have other teams like Texas, USC, and maybe a few others that might be able to, Ohio State, Michigan, we might have some other teams from other conferences. Halfback toss. Get him. There we go. Flag on the play. That's probably a hold. Let's go, baby. Benny in the building. Let's go. What's good? And I wish, I don't really understand why there's a delay when it's on the Peacock app on the TV. You would think it would be synced with the Peacock on the computer, right? But I guess not. And I remember watching WWE pay-per-views and trying them both out. Like, which one is going to be faster? And the one on the computer is always more live for whatever reason. So let's get it, baby. Thanks for Cyberpunk and Sarah helping out on the Twitter and the X. Getting those shares out. And like I said, we're getting very, very close to 20,000 subs. So if you guys are enjoying the broadcast, the thumbnail, the people in the room, overall, the product, little handoff for a short gain, please support your boy. We have 32. There's 36 people in the room, and I already know some of y'all have already subbed to the channel. Some of y'all have been subbed to the channel for 5, 6, 7 years. But if you can help us get to 20,000, it would be very, very appreciative, from not only me, but everybody in the room. 32 subs to get to 20,000. And I've been grinding on this channel for 11 years. This is my 7th year on YouTube. So obviously getting to that big number would be greatly appreciated. There we go. Almost a first down for Michigan State. Let's go. Like, sub, donate it, share, anything that you can do to help support, or just let me know that you're here. Let me know that you are here, and then we can go over all the college football scores. Type them into the chat if you're in the room. Anything that's crazy that's happened this morning or this afternoon. Give me the Oregon State score. Give me the fucking Georgia score. Give me the North Carolina score, which is a little bit lower because Drake May don't got a lot of weapons. So give me anything and everything that you want to type in there. 3rd down and 2 for Michigan State. Noah Kim, hands off. First down, Spartans. Move the chains. Let's go. And I could have did the Oregon State game, even though I'm a Duck fan, but I felt that was going to be an easy win for them. And it was, not the greatest matchup. Then I could have did the Drake May, the North Carolina matchup, but they don't really have offensive weapons really on that level. So I was like, well, I don't know if I want to end up doing something like that. But I eventually will end up doing a Drake May game or two for sure. Play action bootleg. Get him. Yeah. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Dogs, baby. Let's go. I'm telling you, that SEC might be a little overrated now. I mean, when's the last time we've seen a team other than maybe Texas A&M go in with Johnny Football and beat Alabama? Now you have Quinn Ewers coming into Alabama and beating them as well, and then they bench their quarterback. What a hit. What a sack lunch. Noah Kim. Uh-oh. Noah Kim is like, golly. He's like, this Pac-12 is for real this year. Damn right we are. I'll give you a little foam finger, but hey. Watch out, Bo. Watch out, bro. Okay? Noah Kim is like, fuck. And we'll make sure we give plenty of love to both. But Noah was the backup at one point and then ended up getting in the starting role, but he doesn't have any picks yet this season. So they're 2-0, and anyone that is 2-0 in college football, I mean, regardless of who you play, it is what it is. So, but it seems like the offensive lines and the defense and the secondary, some of the key positions that we're normally, used to seeing, teams dominate aren't as good. So reflect in the building. What's good? But, I mean, like I said, I haven't seen anyone go into Bama and win. I mean, if it's another SEC team, it's one thing. But when you get a Big 10, Big 12, or a Pac-12 team beating a team like Bama, or a team with Johnny Football on it or Quinn Ewers, obviously there's potential there. So, reflect, do you have Peacock Network? Stack lunch and a fumble. Yum, 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 yum. Noah Kim, sit down. Brightness, you're in Eugene? Nice. Yeah, I'm in Oregon as well, so I'm out kind of towards like Nike campus up Beaverton area. I usually go to the Duck games. Tip drill, incomplete. But I have to obviously, if I was gonna go to a game this year, I would go next weekend. I'd go see Colorado at home. That would be, where LeBron is gonna be and Drake and all the celebrities and whatnot. Wu-Tang. You never know who's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be showing up in Eugene. You better believe it. There's going to be NBA players, NFL players, MLB players, NHL players, celebrities, singers, rappers, you name it. They're going to be there to go to fucking Autzen to see one of the best experiences in college football and Deion Sanders. Yeah, that was a fumble. I agree. Incomplete. Well, they're going to get the ball with the defense here, so. Toby in the building. What's good? And reflect, I don't know if you heard what I was mentioning earlier. If you have Peacock, it costs $5 a month for WWE. That's why we get it. Me and a lot of the people in the room, obviously for WWE stuff that are part of the NWSF channel. But if you're watching it on the computer, the feed is faster than the app on your TV for about 30 seconds faster. It's almost like the same type of speed as if you were watching like Mariners on a link. It's about 30 seconds behind for whatever reason, because I got them both on at the same time right now. And for whatever reason, the Peacock link through the TV is slower. I don't know why. Yeah, everyone in the building saw it. I think it's because they feel sorry for Michigan State and they know Washington's going to end up winning this game by 17 or more. So it's like they're trying to give them a little shot, a little Uncle Mo. But we're going to get to see Michael Penix Jr., Jalen McMillan, Rome Dunzier. We're going to see Culp. We're going to see all the ballers here in a minute. 4th down and 24. The battle of the 2-0s, baby. And as I looked at all the games, this one was definitely on my schedule. And obviously if the Ducks and I had time, if I'm spending time with a girlfriend or not, then I would have done that game, even though I know we're going to beat Hawaii probably by 30. But I got to be able to evaluate these quarterbacks, because you never know. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers might end up with Michael Penix Jr. if we end up getting to 9 or 10 wins, and that might be okay. Quinn Ewers, maybe sliding down a little bit. Michael Penix Jr., that's all right. If Drake May and Caleb Williams go top 2, that doesn't mean they're going to pan out. They're going to be good players, we think, right? But what happens if Shedeur Sanders and Michael Penix Jr. end up being just as good as those two or better? There's a possibility that we could have 4 starters in the NFL with those 4 guys. Michael? Yeah, baby. Spin move. Hit him with a spin cycle. First down, dogs. Move the chains. Let's go, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can't stop this, and he's a lefty. He's more exciting to me than Caleb Williams, more exciting than Drake May. I don't know what it is about a lefty and when a lefty is good, but when you watch Tua, I mean, I guess if you're not a hater, it's a beautiful ball, with that beautiful spiral, and I think Michael Penix Jr. has got a better spiral than Tua. Let's go! It's just about accuracy. That's really going to be the one thing. Michael Penix Jr., accuracy, get that completion percentage up, and his health. Other than that, he's got all the leadership and all the other intangibles you'd want out of a quarterback. Good size, good speed, smart kid. Just gets injured pretty often. Hasn't had a real major injury with UW within the last 2 years, which is good. Transfer from Indiana. But I think the kid could be special. somewhere between Michael Vick, Tua, and Steve Young. Maybe not, maybe a little bit better than Michael Vick, and maybe, around that Tua range, or maybe not as good as Steve Young, maybe somewhere in the middle, but that would still be pretty damn good. Here we go, Michael. Hand it off. Let's go. Pump those legs. And I love Pac-12 football, so this is very bittersweet for me. I want to make sure I'm doing a lot of USC, a lot of UW, a lot of Oregon. I want to make sure that I remember these games because this is the last year of our existence. I've been a Duck fan and a Pac-12 fan since it was the Pac-8, since the 80s. So I used to watch Ducks when they would win one game a year. So for all the bandwagon fans, when Chip Kelly came in or when we had Mike Bellotti, that's one thing. But if you're going to hop on the wagon, you stay on the wagon. But, you know how that goes with the uniforms and the helmets and the swag. Sometimes you get those people that hopped on during that Chip Kelly era and then they hopped off. But, real Duck fans are going to be through and through. So, all right, here we go. Oh, bouncing to the outside. Touchdown, Washington. Let's go. Hell yeah. And we got to make sure we represent for our conference at the end of the year. And if you actually go and look at our record versus all the other conferences, we have the number one record in football within the first 2 weeks, as far as going against, top 25 competition, as well as just, what we're doing right now in the Pac-12. I mean, we got what, three quarterbacks that could go in the top 10, possibly, right? So Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr., and Shedeur Sanders. I'm not even putting Bo Nix in that category. Extra point is up, and it's good. Everyone is quiet in Spartanville. Let's go. And it wasn't even Rome or Jalen McMillan. You know what I'm saying? When it ends up being another guy, you're in trouble. It wasn't even Culp. It's like you're talking about maybe what? The fourth or fifth option for UW? They'll take it. 7-0 Huskies. Let's go. And I know, Reflect, you are a very, very big UW fan. And like I said, I'm not a hater. I'll do USC games as a Duck fan. I'll do UW games. Honestly, I actually enjoy, kind of scouting and watching the other teams do well. Now, if the Ducks are playing Oregon State, UW, Colorado, of course, I'm going to want to get the dub and win. But I can appreciate those teams playing other schools. I'm always going to root for Oregon State. I'm always going to root, for USC, UW, Washington State. I want the conference to do good as a whole. So, yep. And like I said, we know Tua can throw it deep. I just think the spiral is a little bit prettier for Michael Penix Jr. But again, we just have to be able to kind of wait and see with the whole realignment. And then we'll find out how good the Pac-12 really is. But again, if we end up losing our star quarterbacks, bye-bye Shedeur Sanders, bye-bye Bo Nix, bye-bye Michael Penix Jr., bye-bye Caleb Williams. Yeah, Michigan and Ohio State might dominate the shit out of us for a little bit until we get that next guy. And then once we get that next guy, then we're going to go, we'll go from there. But, I've been a Duck fan since the 80s, and I feel that the big part of this channel is not being biased. If you have talent, why am I hating? There's so many haters out there and so much toxic people that are out there just hating for no reason. Why can't we just enjoy greatness, even if the team is different, even if it ends up being a rival? I want to appreciate that. Also, you never know. Your pro football team might be looking for a quarterback. And me as a Duck fan hating on Michael Penix Jr., then all of a sudden Michael Penix Jr., ends up going to the Bucks or some other team. And then what? I'm not supposed to root for him? Of course I got to. So definitely excited to evaluate Michael Penix Jr. And he's a stud. Let's go. How's it going, Finley? What's good, brother? Piper in the building. How are you? What's good? Let's get to 100 and donos. And again, normally I would be doing the Duck game tonight against Hawaii or Mariners and Dodgers. My dad's been a Dodger fan since the 50s. I've been a Mariner fan since the 80s. Did the game last night. We obviously lost. My dad got the upper hand on that, which it wasn't really surprising to me. But then we'll be back tomorrow, and I'll be busting out reaction videos to NFL games from about 1 till Sunday Night Football. And then I'll either do the Dolphins and Patriots and then continue the reaction videos after, or I might skip Sunday Night Football and just do reaction videos the whole day. And to get more subs and more views. And again, we don't need too many more subs to get to 20,000. So if you're in the room, let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from, what team you root for on the NFL side or college football side. We got some subs in the room, so I appreciate that. We're 30 subs to go to 20,000. So the two of you that subbed that are in the room right now, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I do everything on the channel if you're new. I do reaction videos, but I do NFL, play-by-play reactions, college football, NBA, college hoops, MLB, WWE, AEW, NHL, NASCAR. We do everything here. So it's a one-stop shop all in one. So let's go, baby. Michigan State, your turn, baby. Let's go. All right, let's get Michigan State with a little finger wag. Maybe that'll give them a little bit of support and love. I tried finding a spinning logo for UW and for Washington, but there was a no-go. They have them on the NFL side for like animated GIFs, but sometimes on the college football side, not as much. Nate Carter with a short game. Matt Payton, designation Hawaii. Designation wide receiver / tight end. Designation Oregon Duck. Boom. How's that weather in Hawaii? 2nd down and 9. Shotgun set for Noah Kim. Throw is short. What a grab. Mosley with the catch. Let's go. I know you live in Hawaii. Wow, look at that catch. Did that hit the ground? Wow. But Hawaii is going to get beat bad tonight. I think we know that. Oregon is on a Michigan. And we're not going to look ahead towards Colorado, even though I know some of the student athletes will. But the talent level compared to Hawaii and Oregon, I mean, the only way that Hawaii ends up, making it a close game is injuries. I think that might be the only way. All right, 30 subs to go to 20,000. Let's go, baby. Maybe we could end up getting pretty close, to that number before this, game is over, depending on how many people come in. I imagine I'm the only one on YouTube doing this game, so. Yeah, you know what? I wanted to tank and whatnot, but I'm thinking at this point, if Baker is going to play with this much passion for me, let's try to get to 10 wins. Let's try to get the wild card. Let's have it be Saints and the Buccaneers, and then maybe I can, get a Michael Penix Jr. or like a Shedeur Sanders, later in the draft instead of a Caleb or a Drake May. I mean, if that's what it's going to be, so. Now I got to decide which stream I want to watch, if I want to watch it on the computer or if I want to watch it on the TV, because I don't want any lag, throughout the stream. And I'm watching it on the computer right now, which we shouldn't have any issues, but. A guy in the building. Yeah. Well, of course, it's, a game where the Bears already are 0-1. They're going to be hungry. But Minnesota was hungry as well, and they couldn't get their first dub either. So I would assume that Tampa, and they're at home, so. All right, pass is complete. Instead of a toe drag swag, it was a fingertip catch. Strong fingers there for sure. Yeah, keep me updated on Alabama, Georgia, and all the other matchups. All right, 3rd down and 3. And if you want to watch along, this is on the Peacock Network. So, all right, 3rd down and 3 for Noah Kim. Oh, false start on Michigan State. Uh-oh. Megan in the building. What's good? Washington looked really clean with those white unis, man. I'll never be a hater. I appreciate that look and that greatness. Noah Kim, man, his passes are so low. I mean, he's making his receivers literally like scraping off the ground and being able to get that fingertip catch. Like, make it a little bit easier on your receivers, my guy. Well, they ended up taking out Milroe, right? The starting quarterback got benched, so they put in someone new. So obviously their quarterback room is not good, and that's why Alabama's not good. On top of not getting a pass rush, O-line being shaky, secondary not being as good as years past. But maybe there's a shift in college football now where it's not just Georgia and Alabama every year. I mean, hell, that would be good, right? Because a lot of us that aren't Georgia and Alabama fans, we're sick and tired of this shit. Like, I would rather have Michigan and Ohio State win it all, even from a Pac-12 fan perspective, than seeing fucking Alabama and Georgia win it every fucking year. It's like, you got 2 or 3 teams that can win it all, and that's it. I mean, I don't know. All right, here, I'm going to close this out, and then I'm going to open it up on the TV side and maybe see if that ends up being better. So let me do this. And let's see if I can have it run a little bit smoother, because obviously, I mean, I have a gig, so there shouldn't be any fucking issues. But again, when they say, oh, you got a gig, you don't really get a gig. It's like, oh, you're paying for 500, do a fucking speed test. You ain't getting no 500. I used to work, through the cable companies and whatnot. So I already know what it's like to work, through like Verizon and Comcast and all the, companies and whatnot. Even if you have a fiber connection and whatnot, like a lot of times it just depends on what's going on in how many streams, where you're located, the fiber hub and all that. So, all right. I'm going to try to do it on the TV here and see if the stream will be a little bit smoother. Because I noticed when I was watching it there on the computer, it was a little laggy, but. All right, baby. Washington, your turn. All right, baby. Let's go. 7-0 Huskies. And I really want Michael Penix Jr. to get like 4 or 5 tutties. I mean, if he wants to run one in, that's fine. But I'm really wanting 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdown passes before they put the backup in. Go. Go over the scoreboard here real quick. Took me a little time to get the prep done, but South Carolina 14, Georgia 10. That is wild. That's insanity. Notre Dame 34, Central Michigan 17. Bama's down 3-0. The game is delayed. Like, what kind of twilight zone are we in? Alabama and Georgia are losing? Like, even if it's early, that's just weird. North Carolina finally went up 21-10. They've been talking about that Riley Leonard kid from Duke, too. So definitely another guy that I'll have to keep my eyes on. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Get some rest. No worries. I'm just grinding because, like I said, even though the Duck game is on at 5 and the Mariners and Dodgers are on at 7, I need to be able to put in that grind and that effort. And, I'm going to do as many Caleb Williams reaction videos, as well as Shedeur Sanders, Bo Nix, and Michael Penix Jr. And if I'm lucky, I'll be able to actually do a couple games besides Oregon. Couple Washington, couple USC. Michael Penix Jr. Nice. Let's go, baby. And they got 2 NFL receivers in Jalen McMillan and Rome Odunze. So you got 2 guys right there. So it's like a trifecta. It's not just Michael Penix Jr. He's got 2, NFL guys that he's throwing to. So that's what makes this offense so exciting. Big facts. Cam Ward. Oh, you give me all the information. You guys got some extra information. All I do is read and watch film. I mean, I record literally every day. I'm on the fantasy app 4 to 6 hours a day. I'm reading 4 to 6 hours a day, watching film a few hours a day, and then I'm grinding it out on like videos and streams. So, all right. So I ended up taking it off of the computer, and I have it on the TV because it looks like the feed is running smoother that way. And then obviously, if you were watching it through your app on your TV, there'll be a little bit of a delay, about 20 seconds. 7-0 Huskies. Come on, Penix Jr., baby. Here we go. Little toss. Hang on to the football. There we go. Let's go, baby. Hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend. Your boy's going to be going to Olive Garden here in a few hours. We got another sub. Thank you so much. 19,971. We have 29 subs to go to 20,000. Can we do it today? I mean, that would be a very tough, task unless we ended up getting recommended on YouTube, or this game ends up getting really close at the end and we can have 50 to 100 people in the room. Then we can maybe get there. But appreciate every single person that has subbed to the channel watching on Twitter/X or on YouTube. There we go. First down, Huskies. Move the chains. Let's go. And even though I'm a Duck fan, and I bleed green and yellow, right, through and through my veins, I love the Washington helmets and colors. Like, not very many teams can pull off the purple and have the swag. Washington has more swag than the Vikings. Like, the Vikings have that purple swag with Jay Jetta, you know what I mean? But I feel like on the college side with the helmets being like that gold, it's like a combination of like the 49ers, with the Vikings in one. I love it. Michael Penix Jr., plenty of time. Get rid of it. There we go. Check down, man. Good move. Hit him with a skirt. Hit him with the skirt. First down, Huskies. Move the chains. There we go. Good decision there. Johnson with the catch. Holding on the O-line. That's coming back. Damn it. Let's get to 100 and donos. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. And if you're new to the channel, comment and let me know that you're here, what your name is, where you're from, who you root for. If you are a fan of Michigan State or Washington or a fan of the NWSF or the people in the room, let us know. Make yourself welcome. Like I said, this is your one-stop shop for, NFL, college football, NBA, college hoops, MLB, NHL, NASCAR, WWE, AEW, all of the above. And I got a message from Preston, too. He wants to meet up and come on stream for not the NXT pay-per-view, but for Fastlane on October 7th. So we'll probably end up doing that. The Ducks have a bye week that week. Short gain, late hit. What was that? Get off him. But I've always admired UW's colors and their look. And when they ended up winning the share of the national title in 91, I remember I ended up having sweatshirts to go play outside. I had Michigan, I had Notre Dame, and obviously we know with Notre Dame with like Tim Brown and Lou Holtz. My Lou Holtz, right? Lou Holtz, the legend, right? But I had a Washington hoodie or like hooded. I don't think it was a hoodie. It was like all sweatshirts. And I remember wearing that out and just like getting slammed into the mud and everything. But those were my three favorite like sweatshirts as a kid. This is when I was like 8 or 9 years old. Washington Huskies when they ended up winning in 91, Michigan Wolverines, and then obviously with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish back in the day. Megan with a tenner. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. You got a migraine, you got a headache, no matter. You'll still donate and support. I appreciate you. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Let me know what you want to see for photos during the commercial break, and I got you. Thank you so much. $90 to go to hit the goal. Let's go. Thank you so much. Flag on the play. Yes, we appreciate you. Megan is all the way out in Australia. Big Seahawk fan, Kraken fan, Mariner fan. Northwest, baby. That's no problem. I appreciate anything that you could do. Hell, 99 cents is, some days we're going to hit 100 to 500. Some days we're going to hit 500 to 1,500, right? But other days we're going to hit 50, or maybe even less than that. But most of the time, people will do what they can. So I appreciate you. 7-0 Huskies. 3rd down and 10. Let's go. Rome Odunze, Jalen McMillan, baby. Give him the ball. McMillan in motion. Oh, that's a flag. Some Jay-Z. Okay. We ain't talking Jay-Z and Beyonce. We're talking Jim Zorn. I got you. Oh, we got a timeout. All right, let me get some Jim Zorn here for you. I appreciate you. And then anyone, if you're new and you're watching, anyone that ends up donating to the channel, obviously I try to be able to show some love by just throwing up some of your favorite players, whoever that may be, past or present. And obviously she loves the Seahawks from the 70s and 80s. So we're going to throw up some old school photos from that era. All right, let me hit you with, we go the extra distance here. So I hit you with the Seahawk rotating logo because that's what we do here. We make sure we show the proper love and appreciation. And then we just got to wait for things to fucking hopefully load over. I don't know why that one's taking so long. All right, here we go. Here's the first one. Nice black and white throwback. When I first learned about my dual-trans contracture acquisition for mutual institutions, because when I took the tabletop test, I appreciate you. So I went to a second specialist who also offered research solutions, which felt well. So when I say to other people with dual-trans contracture, some of these I found one that I've never shown you before too. A couple. I've been digging. I try to be able to use certain keywords to open up others. And that's really how it works on the internet. If you're familiar with doing searches and whatnot, sometimes you got to do different like word combinations, and then different photos and things will be able to be, found and whatnot. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your generosity and being one of the heavy hitters on the channel. Appreciate you. Plus, it's always cool to be able to go back in time. I feel like I'm kind of an old soul as it is. I mean, I might look like I'm in my 20s or 30s, but being 41, I love that old school period. All right, come on, Michael. Let's go, baby. Appreciate you, Megan. Hope you enjoyed those. All right, come on, baby. 3rd down and 10. This is easy peasy lemon squeezy for Michael Penix Jr. Hike the ball, get open, catch the ball. Right there. Oh, almost picked. Or was it? Oh, I think it hit the ground. Or did he catch it? Did he pick it? Oh, off the tip and a pick. No. Michael threw that a little high. Let's see if this was actually picked off now. Good protection up front, but he gets hit at the last minute. Ah. Oh, that hit the ground. That hit the ground. I knew he didn't intercept that. Incomplete pass. Michael Penix Jr. does not get interceptions, okay? I don't want that on his fucking stat line. Good. I'll take an incomplete pass. Yes. Of course. Of course. Delay game offense just gives him 5 more yards to punt. It's not a big deal. All right, 4th down and 15. Washington drive stalls, but you would assume at some point the Michigan State fans in Spartanville are going to get crazy and wild. But the talent level, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Let's go! Special teams, bang, baby. Let's go. And it seems like the stream is much smoother, me watching it on through the TV rather than on the computer here. So, all right. I'll try to throw up a couple more here for you while we're waiting in the commercial break. Appreciate you. $10 in donos, 90 to go, less than 30 subs to get to 20,000. That's exciting. We've been working really, really hard, to try to be able to get to that number. Obviously we know with YouTube, it's the hardest platform to grow. It really is. I mean, it just depends if you're in the algorithm or if you're not. If you're in the algorithm, everything's good. You're making money, you're growing, you're getting subs, things are good. But if you're not in the algorithm, it definitely makes it a little bit more challenging, to say the least. Here you go. I know you wanted that one. See if I can squeeze in a couple more here for you before we get back in. And we always try to be able to give everyone's favorites. I mean, obviously we look for stuff that's going to fit the screen, but sometimes those old school photos, they just don't, But I love the old school black and white. It's a vibe. Appreciate you. And then anything else that you want to see from the Seahawks, any current players, like a Charles Cross or a Jackson Smith-Njigba, DK, Tyler, get to the door and lock it. Gino, you got anyone else that you want to see, you let me know. And I got you. I know. I'm not trying to, get you to pass out during the show. I'm just trying to get rid of your headache. You got the coffee there, so I know you're gonna have to get a fan and fan yourself off there in Australia. Yeah, but it's fine. No matter what I have to do, I'm not going to quit. Like I said, if you sacrifice a Jordan rookie, that alone is not going to get me to quit anytime soon. Plus, I feel I'm one of the most driven, determined, individuals on planet Earth, no matter what. So we are going to get to numbers, and we are going to be able to break through the algorithm. And obviously, getting away from a toxic person, being able to be somewhere where I feel loved and appreciated. And also not have restrictions on how long I can record. Because for those last, 2, 3, 4 years, I could really only record from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and the weekends. Now I can record from 7 a.m. to midnight every day. So that definitely opens it up. Kim, going deep and complete. Flag on the play. Shit. So reaction videos are going to get us over 20,000. And I guess it'll just come to a determination if I want to do reaction videos all day and every once in a while skip Sunday Night Football. Because, I mean, it just depends if we end up getting, a good amount in the donos. Like if we get the goal, like 100 or more on a Sunday Night Football game, then probably, we want to keep doing Sunday Night Football. But, I mean, if I'm going to be getting like 50 or less, I would rather just do the reaction videos, because the faster you put those out, the more views you're going to get, the more subs you're going to get, and the more that you're going to bust in the algorithm, so... Short gain on the run. And we've already had 4 videos. We had a couple in preseason that hit 2,000 to 4,000. Then we had 4 videos in week 1 that hit over 1,000. So I just got to keep doing them, and then I'll get in the algorithm. So yeah, they had no reason to do that to me. But, like I said, I feel that, nothing's going to hold me down. Eventually we're going to get to that number, and we're going to never look back. So, and I don't need a raid from a channel with a bunch of fake fans that are going to get me over a certain number and then the next day take their sub away. I don't need people like that. I want real people that want to be here to interact with me and the mods and the people that are regulars on the channel. No fakes. No fakes. Oh, picked. Let's go. Let's go. Hell yeah, that's how you get a pick. Bang, baby. How you like that, Reflect? Let's go. Yeah, I mean, especially when I've been doing this for 7 years, broke out within the first 2 years and then got hated on for 4 years. And then now, we're in year 7, but year 11 of me recording. So, but I always told myself it would take me 10 years to make it, to get to a point where I would be satisfied, but never fully satisfied. So it did take me essentially 10 years to go full time, and I went full time last January. But again, I'm still 3 years away from technically being 10 years on YouTube. So shotgun set. Michael Penix Jr., good protection up front. He's making a sandwich back there. Going deep. He's open. Oh, what a hit. First down, dogs, baby. Oh, my. He made me do the Amon-Ra St. Brown right there. He said, too many pumps, you're going to get the flag. Too many pumps. I mean, look at this throw. Look at the extension. And he got popped. Some guys would be like concussed at that point. Look at this. Bow right in the back of his shoulder and neck. No problem. Go dogs. Move the chains. These guys are kind of good. Polk, Culp, Odunzie, McMillan, Jalen, I see you. Oh, baby. They got weapons on weapons on weapons. I might be a Duck fan, but I probably know more about UW than a lot of UW fans. Let's go. First down and goal. Punch it in, baby. Pac-12. Here we go. Oh, good defense there by Michigan State. Yeah, of course. I mean, sometimes, you know, you'll meet certain people and you feel like you've been friends for a lot longer than it has been. Plus, if you end up, you know, being on a show with someone every day, like that amount of communication with someone would be like if you were going to meet up with someone over like a 10-year period. I mean, you hang out with me for, you know, 300 days out of a 365-day year. That's like a 5 to 10-year relationship, you know? So, second down and goal. Handoff. Nope, play action. Put your head down. Yeah. Boom. Let's go, baby. Pump those legs. Let's go. Touchdown, Huskies. Let's go, baby. It said top three NFL wide receivers you want me to see you team up with. Justin Jefferson, Tyreek the Freak Hill, and why don't we go Amon-Ra St. Brown? Let's go. Yeah, you've been here for a long, long time. I mean, I started the channel in 2017. So obviously a lot of the Eagle fans, Saints fans, you know, Chiefs fans, but then we also get loyal people like a guy, Raiders in the building. I love being able to communicate and vibe with every fan base too. That's what gives me an advantage. Not only that, but also I worked in phone sales for like some of the most cutthroat companies in the world. Like people don't realize when you hear people that are like on Verizon and Comcast and Dish and DirecTV, when they outsource, they don't get people from the Midwest or the South or the Northeast because of their, you know, kind of dialect, you know, so you have to find people that can be chameleons that can call any area. And a lot of these companies end up hiring people from Oregon. You know, that's where most of the companies have their projects and, you know, obviously their, you know, their communications and their other buildings that are set for phone sales or customer service in the Pacific Northwest. You know, but I've talked to a lot of cutthroat people, you know, like if I can talk to people in Boston and New York that are telling me fuck you every 5 seconds and I can still get the deal and still get the sale, you know, like it takes a special breed of person to be able to do phone sales, especially if it's like one of those jobs where if you don't hit your goal, you get fired in a week or two. It's pretty fucking stressful, you know, but if you got the talent and you got good people around you, you know, you can make a good living, but there's a reason why a lot of people drink and do things because it stresses you out. So I'm happy that I'm no longer in that field, but it definitely shaped me, you know, doing that for about half my life. It definitely taught me to be able to, you know, talk and vibe with every race of every age person. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Mexican, Asian, Indian, Australian, Puerto Rican, it don't matter. So I got an advantage over everyone else on YouTube on that end. That's facts. $10. Let's get to a hundo. 90 to go. I know, bro. You've been here for a minute. Yep. Well, everything has been going up. You know, the live streams, you know, like I said, with the content has been going up. My thumbnails, you know, I don't have to pay anyone. Like I figured everything out. I have my own look now. And that's kind of the thing. You got to be able to find your own look, right? And now it's like the thumbs are like a 10. You know, everything has been upgraded. So handoff. Tripped him up. So I feel at this point, you know, it took me 11 years to get to a point where I'm satisfied on how like the channel looks. Like the thumbnails are on point, the background's on point, got the scoreboard, we got photos that we bring up. We got amazing people, the mods and the regulars. So it's going to go just up from here. I totally agree. Plus, if I end up doing, every reaction video every week, like, 15 or 16 a week, no one else is doing that. So first down, Spartans, move the chains. And then I'm also going to mix in college football ones too. Because I want to make sure we have that as a memory, because then we can go back and look, be like, remember Shedeur Sanders at Colorado? Remember Caleb Williams at USC? Remember Michael Penix Jr. at UW? Because in a couple years, it's just going to be a faint memory. So 19-3 Beavers. Nice. Marcos is happy. 21-13 North Carolina. They're barely winning games, because their defense sucks. Their O-line isn't that good. And then they don't really have weapons, like they did the previous year. Halfback toss. Hit him. There we go. End of the first quarter. 14-0 Huskies. Yeah, but we don't want, we actually have hit 20,000 twice. You know what I mean? So we've hit it once, obviously off a raid. And then, those fakes took their sub away, so we don't want those people. Then we hit it again when we had that weird game where it was like Steelers, Ravens on like a Wednesday. It was like on a weird day, and then we hit it at that time. But we're at 29 subs to go. So good. I'm glad. Well, even if you don't care for a lot of the other people in the room, you have to at least be there for Brandon. But again, if Brandon isn't going to facilitate the toxicity in the room, then at some point there's going to be good quality people like you that, may show up, but may not show up every day, because why would you want to put yourself through toxic people in the chat? You just can't do it just for him. You know what I mean? You got 20 people being toxic or 100 people in the room being toxic. Like, as much as you like Brandon and all, that ain't going to be good for your mental health. And especially if you guys lose against Detroit this weekend, it's going to get worse. It's just going to be like, fuck Schneider, fuck Pete, fuck everybody, fuck Gino. The Seahawks suck. Blow the team up. We should have drafted Jalen Carter. All these draft picks. Witherspoon is a bust, even though he hasn't played yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going to be a negative. So. Yeah. Well, I mean, and you have to make sure you let him know, like I said, either in the chat or like in a DM, like privately, like I already got mental health issues. I love the Hawks. I love you, but I can't be in here if it's going to be like this. And like I said, that's why I would have already been over 20,000 easily multiple times, but I want to preserve the mental health and not have it be toxic. And I feel that most channels don't. They just care about the subs, the views, the donos, and they don't give a shit who's in the room. They can say they care, but they really don't. Because unless they're enforcing the boot, because obviously that's what we do here. If people want to test, right? It's like, okay, you might be able to get away with like one good comment, in your eyes, or maybe two. But then I'm like, what was that? And then we already know that, and then it happens. It's unfortunate. When it happens, but sometimes it's meant to save the peace in the room. Like, no one wants to go somewhere where, it's like everything is going well, and then you have that one mother sucker that comes in and just ruins the whole vibe. Big facts. And I've always been that way. If you actually know me from the very start, I've always been that way. I'm always going to preserve the health of the chat. That's the number one important thing to me. Is subs important? Yeah. Are donos important? Yeah. Views important? Yeah. But the actual room is the most important thing to me. The people that care about me and that support me in my dreams, for me and Paisley, this is the most important thing that I can preserve, And of course, if you preserve that, eventually the views, the subs, the donos are going to come, because this is going to be unlike any other room for sports on YouTube. Facts. I don't want my mods to fucking just boot people out the whole time and not be able to talk or enjoy the game. I want them to be able to be a fan and to be able to just relax and not have to work, because what? You're just going to be a mod for a big channel and all you're doing is working the whole time. And then what? For what? Are you going to get anything from that fucking host? Are you even getting recognition? Are you even getting a good job, afterwards? Are they hooking you up with like a t-shirt once a month or something? And the answer is probably fucking no. So it's like, why are you putting all your heart and effort to be someone's fucking work slave for nothing? It's dumb, and that's why these hosts, they think they're bigger than they are and they lose touch of reality. Like, it's like, you got to be able to take care of people. And I'm never going to have my mods work. And if they are, it's going to be minimal. Facts. Enjoy yourself. 2nd down and 8, shotgun set. Noah Kim, nice catch. Catching that ball like Charles Rogers. Remember him? Remember Charles Rogers? He was supposed to be this big prospect from Michigan State. Went to the Lions, never panned out to anything. Sucks when that happens. Yeah. Well, again, you're going to get people that, are just trying to look cute in the raids. Like get this guy over to 20,000 and then you get like a couple hundred subs, but that doesn't mean that they're going to, actually watch, or they're just trying to be cute for the host. Carter with a nice run. Yeah, I will. Definitely. Yeah. And I think another thing too is that I feel that I'm, like real, and real recognizes real, especially if you're able to talk about like depression and anxiety and, addiction and shit that we've gone through. And a lot of people in the room and the mods, we've all kind of gone through the same shit, but a lot of hosts, they don't talk about it. You know what I mean? It's all subs, views, money, and pretending that they care, but they really don't, but for us, we can talk about real life, and that's really important on the channel too. Sports is our getaway from the reality that sometimes we have to go through. Oh, look at them doing the Eagles, push them in the back play. 1st down, Spartans. Move the chains. Bag boy in the building. What's good? First down and 10. Little play action. He's got a man. Oh, incomplete. Overthrew him. All right, we'll make sure we give a little love on both sides as well. Let's go, baby. Oh, incomplete. I mean, when we had that raid, I ended up getting more donos than I've ever gotten, in a particular stream from those people. But also we've had other raids from other people where they didn't even donate anything. You know what I mean? It's like if you get people to come over from like Sports Fury, like what am I supposed to do? Jump up and down and like give you a medal because you came in here? And then what? You came in here and I'm supposed to be like so excited that you came into this room or whatever? Like, I mean, anyone that comes in to do a raid, they do it for different reasons. Some people are genuinely trying to help people out, but others, it's not that way. They're trying to like look down on you type of shit, and that you can tell with the fan base if they actually donate or not too. So at least with Grossi's fan base, they actually care and they donated because we got like 620 in a matter of like 20 to 30 minutes. $620 in donos. Sports Fury, they rated, we got 0. So it shows you there's a different quality of a fan base, depending on what channel you're a part of. Elliot in the building, what's good? Yeah, but hey, guy, you're like me. You already know about the dysfunction, the ownership, right? The GM, the lack of an offensive line, the defense, the bad draft picks. You know what I mean? It's like Max Crosby, he's a G. You know what I mean? It's like, you have a couple guys. You brought Devontae in. You know what I mean? You got Josh Jacobs. You know what I mean? But you never have really been able to put it together, Maybe like getting a coach like a Dan Campbell could like turn the Raiders around. Maybe you would need someone like that to change the culture. But people have to buy in, and you have to be able to start from building the O-line and D-line and work your way out, not do quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and then go in. Because you can have all these star position players, but it don't mean shit if Colton Miller is your only good offensive lineman and you got Max Crosby and Chandler Jones, and that's it. You know, it's like 2 defensive players that you can count on game in and game out, and then you have 9 other guys that you're like, fuck, I don't know. Maybe they'll play, maybe they won't. So, yeah, the Ruggs thing, Gruden, McDaniels. Yeah, that was all that was bad. All that was bad for real. Bag boy in the building. What's good? Elliot, the youngest mod on the channel. What's good? How are you? What's good, brother? Yeah, but I agree. But again, you know, it's not the same days of the Madden era. You know, it's not the same days of Tim Brown, you know, back in the day, or even when they played the Buccaneers in the early 2000s, you know, when they actually had the number 1 offense, you know, Rich Gannon, you know, Charlie Gardner, Tim Brown, Jerry Rice, you know, the team was built a little bit different. You know, had Romanowski, Charles Woodson. You don't really have those dynamic players anymore, you know, besides Max Crosby. So. Yeah, some channels, you know, they try to be able to help, you know, genuinely, which is cool. But again, you know, people on YouTube and you know, on Twitch, it's, you know, usually I would say YouTube is the hardest, you know, just because there's like 140 million channels and whatnot. So there's so many channels that are out there, you know, but, you know, being able to get a sub and keep a sub, you know, people are fickle. We already know that. So. Now, if the collab would have happened, you know, who knows where we would be at this point, you know, but again, you know, you got to be able to have the right type of person to collab with if you're going to be able to do it too. So 14-0 Huskies. Yeah, but if we would have gotten Green Bay and Tampa Bay, you know, in the year that, you know, we had Brady, and we would have been able to collab in that NFC Championship game, that could have been pretty fucking big, you know. But again, I don't need anyone's fucking handouts. Sometimes, you know, you got to be able to earn it on your own and not just collab with someone that's huge, you know, and then you end up getting your flowers that way. I mean, I've worked very, very hard, and you know, sometimes you got to be able to get it on your own. Going long, going deep. Oh! First down, Huskies, Roma Dunzie, baby. Let's go. Move the chains. That was nice. Let's go, Rome. Got an injury. Penix Jr., I'm telling you, he's got that ball, man. I mean, he's like Tua. He can sling it. And when you get a lefty that can sling it, it is so pretty out there. Let's go, Rome. Reflect. Who do you like more, Rome, or do you like Jalen McMillan? Who do you like better? I would assume most UW fans would say Rome, but they're both really, really good. Let's go, baby. Rome, yeah. Shotgun set. Wow. And I like the receivers for UW. It's like we see it with the Ducks and Troy Franklin, but when you see them, they're always snapping the ball and they're always getting it at the right angle. They don't wait for it to hit their chest. They're always, grabbing that football and trying to get it, in that snapping position right there at that high point and then go. And like I said, they teach you that in Pop Warner, but a lot of these guys, even when they get to the next level, it seems like, it'll get to their chest and you don't want it to get to your chest. That's when you end up getting turnovers. 14-0 Huskies. Good protection up front. Look at that. Oh, tipped. Oh, he caught it. No way. No way. Go, go, go. Touchdown. Huskies off the deflection. It's a tip drill. Oh, baby. That was sick. Look at this right here. Michael Penix Jr. tipped. And then right to another player. He said, hey, spank you very much. And look at the yak yards. I'm getting in the end zone. You're not stopping me. Touchdown, Dogs. Let's go. And just like that, 21-0. Let's go. Hell yeah. Now Michigan State's like shit. These guys are for real. They actually thought they had a chance today. They had no chance. I mean, the best chance that they had is to keep this within 17 points. Like you were not going to keep it under 17. 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and that's if Michael Penix Jr. throws for 2 or 3 picks. And I mean, shit, when you get a tip pass and then it just magically jumps into someone's hands and then they end up running it in for like 20 yards after, kind of good. Kind of good. Let's go.
Walmart Plus members save on delivery, gas, plus so much more. Join today. You're lucky. Watching live sports never used to be this easy. Running up and down that field looks tough. It's pitch. Get way more into what you're into when you stream on the Xfinity 10G network.
And we're due, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Pac-12 has been getting beat up for so many fucking years, unless it's a Chip Kelly-led Oregon team or a Pete Carroll-led USC team. It's kind of nice to be able to see like 4, 5, 6 teams actually be good. You know what I'm saying? Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, USC, Utah, Colorado. I mean, it's about time, but it just sucks now when we have like the best quarterbacks and the Pac-12 looks really strong, and then poof, it's gone. If the Pac-12 commissioner wasn't such a greedy fucker wanting $50 million per team, and if we would have just took 30, then we would still have a goddamn Pac-12. And then USC said bye, UCLA said bye, Oregon and Washington said, well, I guess we have to go now because there's no conference. We have to leave, and everyone else left, either the ACC or the Big 12. And now you got Oregon State and Washington State saying, fuck my life, like where do we go? And I would assume that they're going to end up in the MAC, but Pac-12 people got too greedy. That commissioner was a bum. It's like, dude, 50 million, like TV rights and all. Like, how can you end up having that history of someone that's been watching Pac-8 football, Pac-10, Pac-12, and it's one of the most storied conferences? Yeah, we may not win natties often, but when our teams are good, they're really good, right? We already know it's SEC, Big 10, and then it's usually a combination of the Big 12, ACC, and the Pac-12, but usually people will lean towards our conference as the third best. As far as depth, Big 12 is ass, ACC is ass, unless you have like Trevor Lawrence, you know what I mean? Or Big 12, maybe if they have someone good there like Oklahoma, here and there. But, I would say that the Pac-12 is, probably the third best conference typically. Big 10 is usually better than us with Michigan and Ohio State at the top. But as far as a conference from top to bottom, I think we're better than the Big 10. Obviously, year in and year out, but now we're a part of it. So now we're trying to do the super conference. And then maybe the Big 10 will be the best conference over the SEC one day. Because hell, if Georgia and Alabama can't get it done, eventually the Big 10 Pac-12 merger, I mean, if USC's good, Washington's good, Oregon's good, Michigan's good, Ohio State's good, Iowa's good, Wisconsin's good, that could be something. Half of the teams are going to be ass. But then what happens if UCLA surprises everyone and they get good? Then that's another mid-level team, like in Iowa that people are kind of sleeping on. So kind of exciting. 19-9 Oregon State. Go Beavs. Let me message Marcos. Hold up. I got to message him again. Go Beavs. Go Beavs. He's very hardcore, goes to the games. I've known him for like 20 years. Disley going to have bragging rights over K9? Oh, absolutely. You know that. All the UW players, Vita Vea on the Bucks, like everyone that's a UW is so proud of what we're, they're able to build there. It's about time the Huskies got the national love. It's like USC got it with Caleb Williams. Ducks got a little bit of it with Bo Nix last year. And I felt like Michael Penix Jr. he was kind of in the shadow of like Bo Nix and Caleb and some of the others. And then now Colorado and UW are kind of getting their shine. And Oregon State's getting a little bit of love too, which I love, Alabama 3, USF 3. Oh, wow. And they benched their quarterback, so you shouldn't have benched Milroe. You should have just went with him. He didn't do very good against Texas, but it wasn't all his fault. It's like that team. It's not just him. So there goes a lot of recruits, thinking about, I want to go to Alabama. That was 3 years ago, and now some of those guys are going to Georgia, but then now they're like, maybe we should go to Ohio State, Michigan, or maybe USC or Oregon, or, there's going to be other people wanting to look elsewhere because it's no longer a guaranteed championship if you're on Bama or Georgia, it looks like. I mean, we'll see this year. Noah Cam sliding in safe. 21-0, baby. Let's go. Shout out to all the people watching on YouTube and Twitter. 29 subs to go to 20,000. 29. Let's go. 29 to go. It's going to get really good when we get down to like 10, but I'll still, or the 20 number, but still plugging away. 3rd down and 4, 21-0 Huskies. And there's a lot of other sport channels that are more popular than us, but I don't think they're better than us. It's just a matter of time before we can end up getting into the algorithm. And once we become the popular channel, and then there's nothing that's going to hold us back, period. Based off who we have in the room, the work ethic, and the type of streams and uploads that we do. So facts. Yeah, I got you. You want him in college or in the Seahawk uniform? You want a throwback or you want him in the Seahawks? I'll hit you right now. Oh, baby. Let's go. Nothing like those spinning logos. They need to make them for the college because it just makes the broadcast so much better. I see you. Appreciate you. $10, 90 to go. Chandler Jones, yeah, I know they locked him out and made him work out at a gym, and he was, bitching on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, the Raiders are kind of like the Dallas Cowboys of the AFC, but they're even more dysfunctional now. At least the Cowboys have Dan, they already have Dan Quinn and they have Micah Parsons. You got Max Crosby, but you need more, quality players there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, guy, like I want to get to a point where you guys get back to, being that team in the early 2000s with Rich Gannon and whatnot. But again, like you have to like really get the right type of leadership in there. And obviously Al Davis dying didn't help either. 4th down and 13. I had to send him Marcos a Dave Chappelle dancing as Tyrone. Let's go. He says he's going to tell Mark Davis his secret if they don't let him play. Really? So what are they doing? Are they like actually benching him and not allowing him to play in practice? What's going on with him? Yeah, and things have can project, you can go up and down. But based off your roster, Megan, so I look at all the tabs when we end up doing fantasy, and we're way early. We're only in, week number 2, right? We're going into week number 2. We have a long season to go. But just based off your draft, based off some of those adjustments I told you to make, and then some of the good moves you made on your bench, not doing some 18-man league in Brandon's channel where you have a bunch of 6-string running backs and 8-string receivers. You can't have fun in that league. You're projected to finish. You drafted, and you've only played fantasy football this year. You did his draft. You did our draft. You initially came in 10th out of 10 people. They have you projected to finish 6th right now. And I know it's early, but you moved up 4 spots. So that's big. You know what I mean? You just have to be able to, keep things moving. So, and if you get lucky, you might end up winning this week and start off 2-0. So, like I said, it's just about learning about the greats. And all you got to do, to be able to learn more than just the Seahawks or a little bit about like the Ravens and Lamar, just listen to the people that are in the room that are smart. It doesn't even have to be me. You just listen to the conversations that we're having about other players when we talk about fantasy, and then grab those guys, grab those defenses, grab the things that we're talking about, So, like I said, there is a chance, that you might make the playoffs. I don't think it would be that crazy to think, we could have you and Sarah in there. Like I said, Zini Panini, I taught her how to play her first year. She got 2nd place with 9 other dudes that have been playing for years. Then she did everything pretty much on her own and won the championship in our league a few years ago. So anything is possible. But I just thought I'd share that with you. So not sure if you actually saw that tab or not, but I always look at everything. All right, Michael Penix Jr., he's kind of good. 9 for 10, 204 yards, 2 TDs. The next quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Michael Penix Jr. I mean, even if I have to go 10-7 with Baker, fuck it. I'm not going to get Caleb. I'm not going to be able to get Drake May. But there is a chance that Michael Penix Jr. gets drafted ahead of Drake May. He could be the 2nd quarterback drafted. His stats are going to be better. But also he's got better NFL players to throw to. He's got 2 NFL players to throw to. Last year, Drake May had a couple NFL players, and they're in the NFL now. One of them is on Sarah's Colts. So, but they don't have the same type of talent on North Carolina this year like they did last year, and that's why he's struggling. And the North Carolina Tar Heels are struggling. Like, they might end up winning games, but they're not the threat like UW, USC, Oregon, Colorado. We're on a different level. 21-0 Huskies. Like, must-see TV for Michael Penix Jr. It's like when I'm watching Tua in college, or if I was watching like Michael Vick specifically and Johnny Football. Those were the 2 like must-see TV prospects for me. And then now it's Michael Penix Jr. for me. I can't miss a start. I have to watch every single one. And that same way that I was enamored, by Michael Vick at Virginia Tech and him putting Virginia Tech on the map. The same thing with Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel putting A&M on the map. Like, Michael Penix Jr. is starting to put UW back on the map, and it feels good living out here in the Pacific Northwest. So, banned from team activities. Wow. Shotgun set. Little screen. And then, to my knowledge, you guys can let me know if I'm wrong, but is Tua the only left-handed quarterback that's starting in the NFL? I believe he is, right? So we have 1 starting quarterback out of 32 that's left. I can't wait until we get Tua versus Michael Penix Jr., and we get to see left-handed bombs the whole game. What's going to be better than that? Nothing. Touchdown, Michael Penix Jr. Bang, 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 boom. Wow. Of course, you could say the same thing for Caleb, and I'm doing the same thing for Shadur Sanders too. There we go. He's kind of good. Good protection up front on the play action. Michigan State, Where are they? Not even paying attention. They're kind of good. I can't wait to see what's going to happen too, in the Pac-12, because no one knows. No one knows if USC is the best team. No one knows if it's going to be UW or Utah or Colorado. Like, everyone, I think, assumes that Colorado and Oregon State are on the outside looking in, and then it's going to be, in Utah, and then it's going to probably come down to, Washington, USC, Oregon. But Oregon doesn't have a defense. So I would assume it will be USC or Washington that will win the Pac-12. I would assume. But you never know. Utah is very well balanced. You never know what you're going to get there. Oregon State is young. Colorado doesn't have a defense like Oregon. So I would say Oregon State, Oregon, Colorado, defense kind of shaky, But Utah is kind of, if they get Cam Rising, then Utah could do something. But I would assume, based on the football we've watched up to this point, USC and UW look like the two best teams by far. And I'm a Duck fan saying that. So obviously I'm not a hater or biased. So. Do you have both? Penix has got a, but also if Drake May had NFL players, his stat line would be more exaggerated, and it would look better. But like, May's been struggling this year because he doesn't have the talent at O-line or on wide receiver or defense to help him out. So, they're going to do it based off like being NFL ready, and the Drake May type thing, you know what I mean? But I mean, shit, if fucking Michael Penix Jr. is a third or fourth quarterback taken, like, let's say it goes Caleb, Drake May, Quinn Ewers, and then Michael Penix Jr. falls to like 20 to the Bucks, I'll take that. That'd be a dream come true for me. You know what I'm saying? So, you have both. Well, if one of them's injured, yeah, then go with the other one. Yeah. I mean, if one is injured, go with the other one. I'm looking at the matchups right now. So I'm going against the chosen ones. I won 37 to 100. So I'm projected to win by 37. Reflect is projected to lose by 16, but definitely could come back with the roster. You got some sleepers in that roster, I see. And you're going against Team Shep, who's got Tua. That's tough. Then we got Sarah projected for 139. I tried to help her out after that first loss. Got her to get Zay Jones and then Jason Sanders, upgrading from Boswell and Gay. So I think that's going to help her out tremendously. And she's playing Reflect, or she's playing Jerry, Team Walker. And then we got Faux King Money going to get Seahawks Talk, 133 to 108. And then Chief Will Chief and Megan are going to be going at it, 109 to 118. So you're only projected to lose by 9, and he only got 4.9 out of Madison. So if you hit, you could definitely win. Well, it looks like you got 2-2 in our league. So I would just keep it the way that it is. Yeah, I don't see that you have Puka. Are you talking about in our league? In our league or in the other league with Brandon? Because I see 2-2 in your starting lineup, but I don't see him in the other league, in the Puka in here. I don't see him on your team in this one. You got 2-2 Atwell at the flex. Najee, Jason Myers, Dalvin Cook, Carr, Richardson, Johnson, Buffalo D. You don't have them in our league for both. At least I'm looking at it right now and I don't see it unless I'm blind. But you might have him in the other league. Yeah. Yeah, but if Puka is hurt, then you might as well take him out and put someone else in the other league if you can. But again, 18-man league, you got like 8-string receivers, 12-string running backs, 5th-string quarterbacks playing. 28-0 Huskies. Let's go. Even more of a dominant performance than the Spartanville fans thought they were going to get. They didn't know it was going to be like this. They're like, well, we're still going to end up scoring a few points. And you're almost at halftime and you're at a 0. But again, we're here always for the quarterbacks. Bo Nix, Shedeur Sanders, Michael Penix Jr., Caleb Williams. So that way we can have this memory and go from there. Yeah, I would say reflect. I mean, if she had both of them in our league, here on the YouTube channel, then you could go for the one that's more healthy, especially if Puka's going to be limited. But if she's got one in one league and Puka's in the other league and Tutu's the one in this league, you're fine. You would assume that, both are going to get looks. Unless Puka gets to a point where they grade him doubtful and he doesn't play like Austin, like Eckler. Third down and 4. Yeah, putting a guy on IR, you just got to make sure you know what you're doing there. Because Jerry tried to do that. You have to make sure, like, when you make the move for a player, right? You have a player, you get a player, right? Right? You have a player, you get a new player. Once you get that new player, then you get someone that's on IR. Then you move him onto your team, slide him down into IR if it's worth it, then go back and get the player that you originally got. But what Jerry did is he had Aaron Rodgers and Jets D, and I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but then he ended up putting Aaron Rodgers like back on the roster, which you should have just cut. And then the Jets D became available, and I scooped him up. They were the number 2 D in fantasy. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, all right, well, I'm going to scoop them. And I did. So you have to know what you're doing. Otherwise, and then O-Dog ends up getting the Philadelphia Eagles D, the Browns D, and the Jets D for the whole season. Just like I picked up Hayden Hurst. So now I got Hayden Hurst, right? I got Mark Andrews. So if he gets, a little banged up, and, I got the OG, the triple OG. So Mark Andrews, Sam Laporta, and Hayden Hurst. Sometimes you got to be able to get that depth in fantasy. So, I mean, like, there's a reason why, the roster, I've made the most moves out of everybody, in the league. But again, I feel my team, my bench is another starting unit. So 28-0 Huskies. Shotgun set, little screen. God, the defense is very quick. But if you're gonna try to swap Jets and Aaron Rodgers, why would you put Aaron Rodgers on IR on fantasy? He's not coming back, more than likely. So just drop him and then pick up someone else. But then he did something weird and dropped the Jets D, had Aaron Rodgers still on the team, and then no one was paying attention. And of course, I'm up in the middle of the night and I'm going to scoop them. Even if they're projected to get 4.9 points against Dallas, who cares? They could still end up getting 10 or 15 points. If they could get 20 off Josh Allen, what makes you think that the Jets D can't, rough Dak up a little bit? Now, am I going to start the Jets D? No, but I'll use them this year, So you got Patrick Mahomes, Ramondre Stevenson, David Montgomery, Jay Jetta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mark Andrews, Keenan Allen, Browns D, and I got Moody. The Niners kicker is the sleeper kicker of 2023. If you have Moody, you're going to win games. Then I got Rachaad White, Eagles D, Mike Evans, Sam Laporta, Brock Purdy, Jets D, Hayden Hurst, and IR, Jeff Wilson, because he'll be back week 5. I mean, my roster can't be touched. And I only have 3 running backs. I got Rachaad White, Ramondre Stevenson, and David Montgomery. And it doesn't matter. Most of the time I have like 5 to 8 running backs. It seems like I have a shitload, right? But sometimes you got to flip the script and you got to go wide receiver heavy. And going wide receiver heavy is a smart thing to do. Running backs, they get hurt and they don't put as much points up as you think they do. They think, oh, running backs, not only are they devalued in real life, they're devalued, in fantasy too. Like I said, I used them to my advantage last year when I had Chubb, Jacobs, and Saquon. I had 3 of the top 5 in the league, but did I win the championship? No, I didn't. So I decided to go opposite route. So, yep. And if you actually go back and look at the numbers of a lot of the running backs, you're getting better numbers from the RB2s that are kind of like the change of pace back from some of these starters that are supposed to be putting up 15 to 20 points. So it's like if you ended up drafting certain guys and you're like, I'm not getting the points that I deserve. That's why I decided to go for the best receivers. So I got Jefferson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Keenan Allen, and Mike Evans. Nobody can touch my receivers. So I can use those at the flex, and I don't have to worry about having great running backs. I got Ramondre Stevenson and David Montgomery, but that's still good enough because they can get me 10 to 15 every game. And ultimately, does it matter if you have Nick Chubb and Josh Jacobs and they get you 30, or Ramondre Stevenson, David Montgomery, and they get you 30? Yeah, those two are more sexier than mine, but at the end of the day, 30 points is 30 points in fantasy. So, big facts. Flag on the play. But my ultimate strategy was Ramondre Stevenson and Dameon Pierce, but then I got Montgomery because I thought that would be better, and it worked out. And then obviously with Pierce, he hasn't really hit his groove just yet either. Sometimes you got to find those hidden gems. No, I saw him. I left him there. I saw him and I left him there because I didn't have a need for him. I let other people have certain players at times. Like I said, if I feel that, like the guy that I'm playing has Eckler, I left Kelly there for him. I picked him up and I decided to grab Hayden Hurst. Now I could be that dickhead guy and block. I do that all the time. You're playing against me and all of a sudden your running back gets hurt. And let's say you have Eckler. I'm going to grab Kelly to make sure that you can't put him in. I have to strategize. If that means blocking somebody, I'll do it. You know what I mean? But I need to be able to look at me. So if Mark Andrews is the only guy that's hurt for me, I want to make sure I have options. So that way I have Laporta and Hayden Hurst. And Hayden Hurst has got a red matchup, the worst matchup this week, but he's the third ranked tight end. All right. So I always look for top 10. Mahomes 9, Stevenson 15, Montgomery 18, Jefferson 1, Amon-Ra St. Brown 14, Keenan Allen 24, Browns D 14, Moody 3. And these are ranks, right? And then my bench is even better. It's ridiculous. Michael Penix Jr. Floater. Wow. First down, Huskies. All right, and then on the bench, Rachaad White, because he only got me 6.9 points. He's a buster, 40 rank, but he'll get some, touchdowns probably this weekend. Eagles D, 4th ranked. Mike Evans, 16th ranked. Laporta, 9. Purdy, 11. Jets D, 2. Hayden Hurst, 3. And so if you can have a bench that's got top 3 guys in the league, yeah, chances are your team's probably pretty fucking good. So after the play on Sportsmanlike on the defense. But that's how you build a championship caliber team, that most of your pieces are 25 rank or under. But again, if Rachaad White doesn't step up within a month, I'll drop him and I'll grab someone else at running back or even a RB2, that might be able to put up better stats. But I did see Swift sitting there. Now, did I predict Swift that was going to get 175 and a touchdown? No. And if I would have picked up Swift, would I have started him? No. I just would have had him on my bench. So for me, fantasy is trust. And if you break my trust, just like in a girlfriend, I'm not going to trust you ever again. So once you break my trust, you go to the bench or I get rid of you. That's just plain and simple. Not necessarily the girlfriend part right away. You got to be able to see what kind of trust and what we're talking about. But, if it's fantasy and you break my trust and I put you in and you fucking shit the bed and you give me 6 or 7 points, I'm going to give your ass the Hollywood Hogan boot. Unless I really like you, and maybe I'll give you 2 to 3 weeks to make it up to me. And then if you don't, your ass is gone, and I'll get you someone better. So that penalty should have been on the MSU player. I agree. No, Puka is questionable. That just means he's questionable for that game. First down, Washington. So if he's questionable, he still might play. When it goes to doubtful D, that means he's probably not going to play, and you just put him on your bench. But if it just says questionable, he has an injury, but he still might be able to play through it. So it's fine. You don't ever get rid of a guy because it says questionable or doubtful. The only reason you get rid of a guy if it says IR, and that means he's out for the year like Aaron Rodgers, then you put his ass and you dump him and you get someone else. Or if you get a guy that's got a minor injury, you put him on the IR list, on your own roster. And if he's injured for 4 weeks, then you can put him, back in your lineup once he gets healthy. You just have to decide if it's a season-ending injury or a temporary injury. Go, go, go. Touchdown, Huskies. This is ridiculous. Flag on the play, holding. It's coming back. Yeah, I mean, I'm like I said, I'm on the fantasy app more than anyone else. Every hour I'm on it, every hour throughout the day, as long as if I'm not sleeping, I'm on it. I'm always looking to see the injury report to see if someone is playing or not playing. And there's a lot of times I see talented players that are there, but if it doesn't fit my team or what I want, I'll leave it for someone else to scoop up. And then it's up to that person to be able to play like a DeAndre Swift. But the problem is a lot of people that picked up DeAndre Swift because I had Gainwell. I picked him up and I dropped him, right? But a lot of people that, had him, they didn't start him. So, unfortunately. So, all those big points, like 28 points, were on the bench. Good tackle. The refs are homers. I agree. But just like Jason Myers was a sleeper kicker in 2022, like I said, Moody is going to be the sleeper in 2023. Great offense, plenty of opportunities. He's going to be the guy that should be able to get like 9 points or more almost every week. And that's solid for a kicker. No, you would want 10 to 14 every week if possible. So. Well, yeah, and you also have Niners D in fantasy too. So, like I said, Niners D is going to be able to shut down a lot of people. But remember, when you think Niners D, it's front seven besides Talanoa Hufanga. So depending on how far the ball goes, if it's corners, it don't matter. People can throw on the Niner corners. It's just once it gets to Hufanga, you got to make sure it's not picked off by him or he doesn't knock it out. So receivers can get yards on the Niner defense. It's just that the Niner defense brings so much pressure. Quarterback usually doesn't have time to get it to the receivers, and that's why the numbers are lower. It's all about matchups week to week. All you're trying to do is score more points than the other team that week you're playing. Penix Jr. going deep. PI. No laundry? Oh. Yeah, you have any questions, I'll help you. But you never drop, anybody just because of like a designation. I'm fickle sometimes, and I just try to keep upgrading my team. So sometimes I'll draft a guy, and most people would keep him on the team for the whole year. But if I see someone that's a sleeper, that's got more potential, more targets, more opportunities, maybe I'll cut the guy loose, and I'll let someone else take a chance with him, 28-0 Washington. Like I drafted Eagles and Buffalo D. I dropped Buffalo D after the Jets game. Normally I would never do that. You picked him up, Megan, but then I ended up getting the Jets and the Browns on top of that. So I got 3 defenses. I'm good. Incomplete. Damn it, Rome. And we already know the Browns got the stingiest defense in the league. So I got that. And I had Buccaneers D, but I think Browns D is a little bit more stingier. Eagles D is phenomenal. And then also I, got the Jets D because, the Jets D is insane as well. Yeah, Zach Wilson's a Buster Brown, but the Jets defense with Sauce and Quinnen Williams, that's tough. Like, even though they might lose to the Cowboys, Jets D could still put up 10 to 20 points on defense and fantasy. So, yeah, I would monitor it. I would hang on to him for now since you picked him up after I dropped him, but they may be able to put up a 10 to 14 point performance within the first month. And if they do, hang on to him. You got Niners D. You're never going to play the Bills D anyways. You're going to play Niner D all year. There's not going to be one opportunity that you're not playing the Niner D. You're playing the Niner D is like the fucking Cowboy D. Or like, you're going to play that pretty much every week. In my case, I got the Eagles, who normally is like number 3, number 4 typically, but then I also got the Browns and the Jets. So I can rotate. I like having options, That's my thing in fantasy. If I have an injury, right, to Mark Andrews, I'm going to have 3 tight ends. Now, if Mark Andrews isn't hurt, then I'll have 2 tight ends. But I want to make sure I scoop guys before other people notice how good they are. Like Hayden Hurst and Hunter Henry are sleepers this year. Double H, like Hulk Hogan. They're going to get a lot of targets on New England Patriots with Mac Jones, Hunter Henry, and also, right, with who? Double H, Hayden Hurst. Hayden Hurst is going to be Bryce Young's number 1 option. Yeah, they have Shark and they have these other guys, but he's going to go to his check down guy. So that's why, even though he had a red matchup, I wasn't going to play him, but I know that I can use him or Laporta for Andrews if needed. And that's how you end up winning a championship in fantasy. You get guys early within the first 2 weeks, and you get them before they blow up. Because what happens if Hayden Hurst ends up getting 20 points and he had 15, week 1, but he had a red matchup and he got 20? Everyone's going to be putting in the waiver wire for Hayden Hurst week 3. But if I grab him now and he's on my bench, you guys can't get him. And that's why I scooped up Laporta, before week 1. I got Hayden Hurst, obviously before anyone recognized that he's a number 3 tight end in fantasy, right? Because I do all the research. And then I got Mark Andrews. So if Mark Andrews shits the bed and his quad explodes, right, and I can't use him all year, I still feel good against great competition in our league, Like Sarah might have TJ Hawkinson. I can't compete with that, right? But You know, if Mark Andrews can't play, at least I got Laporta and Hayden Hurst, and I can go back and forth, and I might be able to get 10 to 14 points, is which I would have gotten from Andrews. So you gotta think ahead of the box, outside of the box, and ahead of the curve. So Laporta, baby. Kim, floater. First down, Spartans. There we go. Let's show some love for Michigan State. There we go. That's a cool photo of him. Nice tat. He's half Korean, half white. You don't really see too many Islanders, Pacific Islanders, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, or even if they're half, you don't see too many in college football or in the pros. I mean, Cowboys had Dat Nguyen. He was pretty good. But in football, you typically don't see a lot. There we go. But it shows you, I mean, if you want to be the best of the best, you have to read, you have to click on all the names, you have to be able to look at rankings, you have to be able to watch film, you know, and like I said, you have to do a lot of things. And like I said, I usually will have the most sleepers before they become big names, and that's how you win. Because, I mean, imagine if Hayden Hurst and Laporta turn into top 10 tight ends. That means I'm going to have 3 of the top 10 tight ends in the league. And if Kelsey continues to be hurt and Andrews, those guys are going to raise up the board. And then Sarah's pick of TJ Hawkinson, number 2, over Andrews and Kittle is looking smarter and smarter each day, because that's what I would have done. I was going to pick TJ Hawkinson over Kittle or Andrews, but Kelsey, I would have probably went number 1. But if Kelsey was off the board, Hawkinson would have been the guy, and now she's reaping the benefits of it. Touchdowns? What, 1 touchdown in the first? How many touchdowns did he have? Did he have 2 in game 1 and 2 in game 2, or 1 in game 1 and 2 in game 2? But either way, I mean, he's getting like fucking 15 to 25 points every week. That's damn good in fantasy at tight end for sure, especially with Kelsey and Andrews being hurt and Waller. So it's like the only motherfucking guy that's staying healthy is Hawkinson. And not only that, he's actually like the number 1 threat, you know, Hawkinson, right? Jay Jetta, Addison. And I saw a really good stat about Kirk Cousins, about how shitty of a defense he's had in the last 5 years. I'm telling you, if Kirk Cousins goes to the Niners, that could be good enough for them to get to the NFC championship game or Super Bowl. Imagine if they had Kirk and Purdy. That could be good enough, you know? Like Purdy, I feel, can like get you there, but I'm not sure if Purdy can beat the AFC team head to head. But if you get Kirk, and he's got a good O-line and a good running game and a great play caller, a great defense. He's never had a great defense in Minnesota. So after this year, when he gets released and he's able to go wherever he wants, don't be surprised if Cousins signs with the Niners, because I know Shanahan loves him. So, and they've worked together in the past in Washington. So, oh yeah. I got the defenses on lock and the tight ends on lock. 3 defenses, and I got 3 tight ends. Hell, at one point I was going to have 3 kickers. I did, and then I let some go. But you got to make sure you have the right ones. And it's all about ranking. What are they ranked? And the more top 10 ranked players that you have, the better your team is. And you want to make sure you have top 10 on your bench. You know, if you just have guys that are just sitting there, that are just wasted pieces, that are just sitting there collecting dust, you're never going to get to the championship game. You always have to make sure you're upgrading the roster every week, you know, and making sure that you have top 10 guys everywhere. (28-0) Huskies. 4th down and 4. Shotgun set for Kim. Check down and complete. Right. But I already have pieces in line, right? Quarterbacks. I got Mahomes and Purdy. So I got 2 of the top 11. So if all of a sudden Mahomes is a tough matchup, boom, Purdy. I can get 16 to 20 points. He averaged 18 out of every start he's had with the Niners. I can win with 18 points, right? And then running backs aren't as good as they were last year, so they're kind of undervalued. So I can still win with David Montgomery and Ramondre Stevenson, believe it or not. And then I got, Jay Jetta, Amon-Ra, Mike Evans, and Keenan Allen. Nobody's got better receivers than me. And I got 3 tight ends, 3 defenses, so it's like sometimes you got to be able to, draft. But then I've already gotten, look at this trick play. I've like I said, my team has been, revamped since the draft. And it's only been, 2 weeks? And half of my team is new. Brown's D is new. Moody is new. Laporta's new. Purdy's new. Jets D is new. Hurst is new. Jeff Wilson Jr. is new. So half of my team is new, and we're already going at week 2. So I'm always upgrading the roster. I don't keep shit the same. 2nd down and 8 with that crazy trick play by Washington. You never know what they're going to pull out of their bag. Shotgun set. Uh-oh, filthy. Oh, baby. Oh, he's hurt. Shit. Uh-oh. I hope he's McMillan's okay. Uh-oh, shit. Let's pray for McMillan. Oh. Oh, I hope he's okay. McMillan's knee got bent awkwardly. They can win without him because they still got Rome and Culp, and they got plenty of pieces, but he's hobbling. Fuck! That's not good. Damn it! I'm an Oregon fan, but I don't want to see that. Prayers up for Jalen. God damn it, that's not good. Incomplete. Now the vibe is going to be all somber. He better not have tore his ACL or hyperextended his knee. That did not look good. I mean, it didn't look like season ending, but he won't play next game. That's for damn sure. Prayers up for my guy. I might be a Duck fan, but I never, ever will wish an injury on another player on any team, even if it's a rival. Hell no. Prayers up to you, my guy. That sucks. And he's an NFL receiver too, so hopefully he's all right. Yeah, and also I've done different strategies each year. I always am looking, sometimes I'll have 1 quarterback, sometimes I have 2, sometimes I have 3. It all depends on the injuries. If I have an injury of a guy, Mark Andrews, that's the only guy, I'll have 3 tight ends because I want depth. What happens if Sam Laporta starts sucking? I can't just be stuck with Sam Laporta and just be happy with it. I need to grab guys that are good now, so that way if Andrews does have the lingering quad, then I have 2 guys to go back and forth from, not just 1. That's my strategy with it. So, ooh, the All Blacks won. New Zealand. Nice. 73-3. Is that good? But it doesn't look bad. Like he goes up and the knee doesn't get like twisted. It just gets landed on awkwardly. Like his knee goes into the normal position and then it kind of gets crunched. It doesn't go like sideways or inverted and like get twisted. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I just think it's probably knee soreness, but I don't think like there's a tear or anything like that. So I think they'll be fine. Because obviously if it would have got bent and then landed on, then you're like, oh shit, ACL, MCL, PCL, you're screwed. But I think you'll be okay. Oh, yeah. I watch every single person in the league. I watch every move that they make. I know everyone who they have on the bench. I know who everyone has in the starting position. And if I need a block, I will. Even if it's a guy that I'm not going to play, if I think that guy's going to pick him up, maybe I'll pick him up, Touchdown, Huskies. But again, it depends if I'm going to actually use that position or not, right? So it's like I could have kept Kelly on my team, but it's like, am I going to play him? No. Right. So it's like, I'd rather get Hayden Hurst before he busts out with a 10 to 15 point game, ends up being the number 2 ranked tight end. And then all of a sudden you guys get him on the wire. And so I have to go a week early. You always want to look a week early to see if you have any buys and any weak spots. So that way you can pick up a defense a week in advance. So that way you're not stuck with what you have. And that's what I ended up doing too. Thank you, Reflect. $10 holla. 34 extra point is up, and it's good. 35-0 Huskies. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Bang, bang. $10 holla. Michael Penix Jr. is the man. Let's go. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Let me know what you want to see for photos, and I got you. Man, we've got all the photos. Michael Penix Jr. looks like a stud. Tampa Bay Buccaneers new quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. Lefty with swag, Michael Penix Jr. He's kind of good. He would look really good in a Buccaneers uniform. And then we got, you already know, Roma Dunze, Roma Dunze. A little bit of Rome in my life. Rome, 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 Rome. And then a little Jalen McMillan. I hope he's okay. 35-0. This game is very close. 20 doll hairs, 80 to go. Michigan State's like, can we just have this game end? Like, looks better than Tua. You know, like Drake May, like I said, Drake May might be in the position of 2, but hell, you might get Caleb Williams, Michael Penix Jr. and Shedeur Sanders above Drake May. Like, we'll see like what the NFL people say based off body size and his workout, and obviously off the field, how he does interviews. But I wouldn't be surprised if Michael Penix Jr. and Shedeur Sanders go higher in the draft than people think. But, if they slide in the draft, then we'll see. Because if they slide to a good team, then that team is going to be able to get a gem. Like Sanders and Michael Penix Jr., if they slide in the draft and it goes Caleb 1, Drake May 2, there's no guarantees that those guys are the best. Like they might be, but the other 2 could be just as good as them, or maybe even better. We don't know. It depends on the team, right? Yeah, because all the people, they don't care about you and they're trying to rip you off. They just see you as a girl and that you don't know anything and they're just trying to be able to rip you off, 18-man league. That's childish. I can't even believe that he did that. Like, who does an 18-man league? That's ridiculous. You might as well just do 2 10-man leagues and do it separate. You can't have any fun doing an 18-man league. Like 10 to 12, that's good. Anything above that is ridiculous. 45. Could have been 45, but 35 will take it because they're good, baby. Yeah. And that's why you have to be able to do the research to be able to find the guys that are sneaky good, that they may not be big names, but they get targets. And then you got to be able to look at rankings. And then if you grab guys within the first 2 weeks before everyone else is sleeping, then you might have guys that are going to stay on your roster for the whole year. So I got 3 of them that I might be able to have. So, because if Moody ends up being the Jason Myers of last year, then I don't even have to worry about kicker for the rest of the year. And then picking up obviously Browns and Jetstee, right, on top of Eagles. I mean, get out of here. And then Laporta, Hurst, and Andrews. I might have 3 top tight ends, 3 top 10 defenses. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to beat me, unless my guys shit the bed. So, yeah. And you can't predict injuries. No one could have predicted Kelsey, having an injury like that, But sometimes you can kind of, like Sarah, I feel like me and Sarah can sometimes have the ESP and we're going to be ahead of the curve of everyone else on the channel. Like she decided to go, Amon-Ra St. Brown last year, and it benefited her tremendously. So what did I do? I decided to take her guy from last year, and I got him this year because I knew, right? And she decided to go for Hawkinson this year ahead of the curve and picked him over Andrews and Kittle. How many people would have done that? Like what, 1%? Like most people would have went, Kelsey 1, Andrews 2, Kittle 3, Hawkinson 4. But Hawkinson might end up being the number 1 tight end this year. Number 1, number 2. So sometimes you have to have moxie, guts, balls, whatever you want to call it. You're going to have to do something that other people would be afraid to do. But then look at Hawkinson's number. But it was an easier decision for Sarah because she's an Iowa Hawkeye fan. So she just is like, I want my guy. And then you're just lucky that it panned out. Like you got your guy, but then your guy put up 25.6 points. So he's the number 1 ranked tight end. 11.5, 8 receptions, 9 targets, 35 yards in week 1. Then 7 receptions out of 8 targets, 66 yards, 2 tutties in week 2. So number 1 ranked tight end, Sarah Small ahead of the curve, So every once in a while, you have to be able to see what other people are doing and then get ahead of the curve. And then if you can't get ahead of the curve, you grab that guy next year. So there we go. Rodgers, no one would have, guessed that either. Absolutely. All right, let me go get my Snapple from the other room. UW, baby. I'm telling you. I mean, who's the best team in the Pac-12? Is it UW? Is it USC? Is it? Is it Oregon? Is it Colorado? Is it Utah? Is it Oregon State? I mean, I think Utah, it's not. Oregon State and Oregon, it's not. Right? Colorado doesn't have a defense, so I wouldn't put them in there because Oregon's going to beat them in Autzen next weekend. But Colorado has a great story. They're bringing fans to college football. But you may be looking at one of the top 2 teams for sure, and University of Washington, and then the other would be USC with Caleb. And whose defense is better out of the 2 teams? That's the real question because both teams have a defense. Sometimes the defenses are a little lackadaisical at times. Everyone in the Pac-12's defense is a little lackadaisical besides typically Utah. That's usually the powerhouse defensive team when they're good, but they won the Pac-12 2 years in a row because of their defense, but Utah ain't going to win it this year. Well, JSN is unproven and Puka already has points. So you don't go for name recognition or just for guys that are on your team. You have to go based off talent and targets. So, I mean, and at this point, Puka and Tutu are like number 1, number 2 for Cooper Kupp. JSN right now is what, the 3rd option? So you have to look at options. Are they a wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, and how many targets are they getting? These are things that you have to look at stats. If you want to be good at fantasy, you have to look at targets and how many opportunities these players are getting. You just can't be like, oh, JSN, they're on my team Seahawks, I'm going to put them in. But then you could have a guy like Puka or Tutu on the rival Rams, but if they're going to be putting up 15 to 20 points, and then JSN puts up a 4, right? What would you do? You're not going to put the guy in just because he's on your team with a 4 or 8 points. You're going to put the guy in that's going to get you 15 to 20, or the guy most likely to. So, you can't be biased in fantasy football, and if you are, you're going to lose every time. If you're biased towards your players and playing your players only, then you're never going to win a championship. You have to be able to, like I had Buccaneers D, I dropped them. I'm a Buck fan, but I'm not going to keep them if I feel like the Browns are better or the Jets are better. You don't hang on to guys on your team if there's other guys on the wire that are better. But that's a very hard thing for people to do. Let go of their pieces, But again, if you're able to do that, that's how you're able to win championships. So, Reflect, is that good? Is that good? 20 for 25, 375, 4 TDs. I mean, he's putting up numbers just like Caleb. It's just like the left-handed version, except he's not going to scramble as much as Caleb. Different type of player, But this could be the future of the NFL as far as lefties, him and Tua. And I love it. I want more lefties in the league. Is that good? Let's go. Let's just pray for Jalen McMillan to be okay. All right, let me get you a couple JSN, Megan. And reflect anything else that you want to see on the Husky side or Seahawks side. Both of you, I'll take care of you. Just let me know what you want. All right, so let's go here. What's going on in college football? Please put in some of the scores in the chat. Let me know what's going on. There's got to be some upsets or some crazy stuff going on. Alabama, Georgia, Oregon State won. Let me message Marcos real quick. I'll give you some. The Ohio State University. It's going to be very crazy to see when Marvin Harrison, ends up going in, and hopefully for Sarah that the Colts will grab him if possible. And then that way Richardson will have a true number one receiver. And then you can end up having like a Marvin Harrison, Andrew Luck, Reggie Wayne kind of connection all over again. And as good as Jackson Smith-Njigba is, he ain't as good as Marvin Harrison. So Jr. Marvin Harrison Jr. looks like he's generational. Jackson Smith-Njigba looks like he could be very, very good, but there's a different pecking order based off the receivers. Like Marvin Harrison Jr. looks like he could end up being a top 10 receiver in the NFL, like a Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra St. Brown type. And if that's the case, whatever team gets him is going to benefit tremendously. Facts. 35-0 UW. Some Charles Cross. What's his injury status? He's still out for this weekend, right? Because if Charles Cross ain't playing, it's going to be really hard to win any week. That's why you need to get a couple Charles Crosses and keep beefing up that line. The better that the line is for O-line and D-line for the Seahawks, that's going to equate to, 2 or 3 more wins every season. So hopefully that the management team understands that. And if they do, then we will see a better version of the Seahawks, moving forward. Countdown to 20,000 subscribers. Let's take a quick peek on where we're at. How many more do we need? Let's take a peek. See if we've gotten any more. All right, we're at 29. Still 29. 29 subs to go. So if you are new and want to show some love, it would be greatly appreciated. 20,000 is a big, big number. And it definitely looks better when you see 20,000, rather than just 19,900 and some change. Linebackers walked up into the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a point of emphasis for Purdue to make sure they recognize those we're going to see. 35-0 Washington. It's kind of good.
crazy. We did interviews this weekend at custom shoes, custom Air Force Ones in the locker room. So again, he's resonating with this locker room, and I think that's why these guys are playing so tough. You know what I thought was interesting is when we talked to Ryan Walters yesterday, and he said it was good for our team to lose that first game to Fresno State because he said we jumped out to a lead, we got comfortable. But what does that do sometimes for football players? It makes us complacent. And when we get complacent, he said that's what we can't be. We learned a lot from that game, and then showed the following game and we'll come back and win. The biggest thing for me looking at tonight, you're at home, you want to create that home field advantage, right? Like you want to get the fans excited. That's something
Michigan State's like, we were 2-0. Let's time to go home. They definitely did not see this coming.
First things first, wrap up the text messages, second half. East Lansing coming up in a bit.
Walmart Plus members save up to 30%, but so much more. Join today.
Try Tide Power Box with 5% more time. Who needs that much more time?
35-0. Unbelievable. I figured it would be something crazy, but I didn't know it'd be like that. But like I said, I wanted 4 or 5 tutties, and we'll see if they, let him play the third quarter and then they end up sitting him, or if they just keep pouring it on. Because at this pace, we're pacing for a 70-0 game against a team that's 2-0. Pac-12 represent. Or throw up a Kenneth Walker the third in here too for your guys' donations. I appreciate you. I got some really cool ones of Kenneth Walker too. Let's see here. Stuff that I haven't even shown because I was saving it for the Seahawks stream that I would do. But might as well bust it out for you loyal Seahawk fans. To get a little bit of my secrets and a little bit of my stuff that I've been banking and saving on. Oh, hit him with the skirt. Just don't tear your ACL when you do these kind of angles. Look at his knees right there. That shit makes me nervous. But he'll juke the shit out of you, just like Breece Hall. And it's the best running back that you guys have had since Marshawn Lynch. So, when you get someone like that, it can give you that confidence, that you can, take the pressure off Geno or whoever the running back quarterback combo is in the future post Geno. And obviously, if you watched Michigan State football in the last few years, you saw Kenneth Walker play, so you already knew who he was. Like, I already knew he was the man, too, when they played Michigan and he scored like fucking 4 touchdowns and had like 200 yards. I'm like, okay, you're doing that against Michigan? And they're always known for defense? I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's the fucking man. Jalen Polk, 4 receptions, 113 yards, 1 tutty. Roma Dunze, 5 receptions, 113 yards, no tutties. Jalen McMillan, 4 receptions, 96 yards, no tutties. All right, I got one more since we're waiting on halftime to end from last week. Let's go. Stiff arm to hell, baby. See, a lot of the new ones are pretty dope. Like, if you just got to be patient, you got to wait for the photographers to do their job. You know what I mean? So like this one was an older one, and then this one like probably like preseason, and then you end up getting some blessings like this one with a skirt and then the stiff arm. Let's go. All right, we're getting ready for the second half. How much more Michael Penix Jr. are we going to get? After McMillan got hurt, I imagine it's like, okay, well, we're ahead. We'll probably play you for a couple series in the third quarter, maybe all of the third quarter, and then you'll get benched in the fourth. So. Brian in the building. What's good? They started sprinkling. Damn it. That sucks. Who's your pick to win the NASCAR championship? I saw Dale Jr. ended up doing the Xfinity race, and then he got on fire. His suit got on fire, and he had to get out. So, yes, I agree. Reflect. Toronto 4, Boston 3. Ooh. All right, let me take a look at this. Alabama 10, USF 3. When's the last time you remember that Alabama, like I said, the downward spiral of Alabama started last year when they couldn't even beat Georgia. Now they're turning into a team that doesn't even look like Alabama anymore. Nick Saban to Oregon. Go somewhere new to build a program. Wow, Washington State 50, North Colorado 7, UCLA 52, NC Central 0. What the hell is NC Central? Tennessee, Florida is at 0. Ohio State 56, Western Kentucky 10. Well, of course, when you're playing teams like fucking Western Kentucky, you should be up by 46. Iowa up 31-10 against Western Michigan. Missouri with a big long field goal to win, like 60 plus. Okay. Look and see if there's any other scores that are like crazy to me right now. Let's take a look. Let's look, baby. Alabama only being up by 7 against crappy ass South Florida. And South Florida typically isn't crappy. They're usually like a top, what would you say, 50 team out of 100. They're usually in the top 50, but I mean, with 3 points, I mean, that's sickening. Quinn Ewers slapped him in the mouth and they didn't even recover. But, you know, it's one thing to have excuses about your quarterback and then to bench your quarterback. But what about the O-line and the running backs and the receivers and the defense that has all those NFL prospects? What the hell happened? That's wild. Florida State only won by 2 against Boston College, 31-29. And Florida State's ranked 3. So that's surprising. Penn State won by 17, 30-13. Nothing really else in here besides a Missouri upset. Georgia at number 1, only winning 24-14 against South Carolina, who's not ranked. That's alarming. Go Beavs, 26-9 over San Diego State for Marcos. North Carolina, Drake May, 31-13 over Minnesota. Look at his stat line. Let's see what Drake May's doing. 29 for 40, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's not playing good this year. He doesn't have the NFL talent, and he's throwing 2 picks, 2 touchdowns every week. Michael Penix Jr., boop, 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 boop. Right? Caleb Williams, boop, boop, boop. Shedeur Sanders, boop, boop, boop. Drake May, brr, brr, but he'll still go high. But Michael Penix Jr. and Shedeur Sanders' stock is rising. Drake May is falling. You can't get 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. I mean, if you're going to have that stat line, you have to have at least 5 touchdowns passing, 2 picks, or 4. You know, so that way it looks a little bit better. Oh, he had 4 touchdowns. He had 2 picks, but he had 4, not 2 and 2 each week. Come on, Drake May. Alabama went to UL Monroe, but the last time that we really seen people go into Alabama, Johnny Football with Mike Evans, and then Quinn Ewers this year. So. Oh, Matt Payton's eating the Lane Johnson diet? Is that what you're doing? Mark D'Antonio is about to fucking retire after this game. He's like, we were 2-0. What the hell happened? It's like, this was the Michigan State mood before the game. We actually have a chance. We're going to get the upset. Michael Penix Jr., he's not that good. And then they look at the first half score, 35-0. Yeah, you ran into a freight train, buddy. This ain't the Big Ten. And we'll be a part of the Big Ten next year. Okay? USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon. But pretty soon, the Big Ten teams are going to regret letting us come on to their conference. I'm telling you. Because all 4 teams are going to finish in the top 6 sooner than later. You know, with Michigan and Ohio State. You know, the only team that you might say might take them a little bit longer is UCLA. But if you compare UCLA to Wisconsin and Iowa, and they actually get the recruiting with Chip, who's to say that Chip Kelly can't be on the same level as Iowa or Wisconsin or those second tier after Michigan and Ohio State? I think it's very possible sooner than later. So 35-0 Huskies. Michigan State fans, not happy. Northwest fans, very happy. It's all about draft evaluation and not being a hater and is enjoying greatness. And I'll be a Michael Penix fan, Michael Penix Jr. fan for forever. It's a lefty. Someone that could be on the Tua level or better, of course. Oh, I need to go get my drink, but I don't want to miss anything. All right, I got to go run to the fridge in a second. And there's going to be a lot of running the football, so we're not going to get to 70. I assume that the final score will be in the 50s because they'll let up and maybe Michael Penix Jr. will go out. I'd be shocked if he plays the whole game. Shows you how good Washington's defense is, too. Underrated. Against a 2-0 Michigan State team at home. Penix Jr. Golly. First down, Huskies. All right, let me go get my drink.
Already today, but this time he sets up and throws it across the field to Odunze. It's just they make you think constantly. They do a good job of kind of moving the
All right, I'm back. What did I miss? A touchdown? Probably. All right, what did I miss? Nothing? Okay, here we go. First down and 10. I didn't miss anything. Nice. Let's go. Polk, Culp, McMillan, Odunze, Michael Penix Jr. Squad. Oh, go, go, go. Shit. They're giving up 45-yard rips on the ground to Johnson. Then you're really screwed. I mean, if they keep playing defense like this, the Huskies are going to get 100. Nice. Go Beavs. 26-9. Marcos posted. Who's the first one to like it? Your boy. You support me. I support you. That's how friendship's supposed to work. 35-0 Huskies. They're knocking on the door, baby. Impressive win on the road like this. Shotgun set. Hand the ball off. Bounce it outside. Yeah, like I'm saying, I don't know who's going to stop them. USC, Utah, that's probably it. I don't see anybody else competing. Who else can compete on the defensive side? Colorado? No. Oregon State? No. Oregon? No. It's got to be Utah, USC. Those are the only two that might be able to slow them down. At least in the Pac-12. Oh, nice hit. Nice defense by Michigan State there.
So now you got to go, okay, let's move another defensive attack here. Sit back and be conservative. They're still getting what they want. So we got to something people are comfortable with. Michigan State usually very hard to score touchdowns on this year. And the court said that to us yesterday. We'll see if they can do this one.
Michael Penix Jr. Pressure, throw it away, and complete. If Oregon wins tonight, which we will, all four Washington, Oregon teams will be 3-0. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Ducks, Beavers, when we're both good, it's good for the state. Washington State, it's great. I'm just very sad that the Pac-12 doesn't exist after this year. Stupid ass Pac-12 commissioner, greedy ass motherfucker. Can't take $30 million a year, has to take $50 a year. And then they said, fuck you, no more. And then There goes the conference. Thanks a lot, you greedy bastards. All right, here we go. 21-yard field goal attempt, which is odd. Field goal is up. Chip shot, and it's good. 38-0 Huskies. Yeah, finally, we actually have the best quarterbacks in the country, and we have like all the spotlight on us, and then this is the last year. Thanks a lot, you greedy fools. Like, what could have been if you would have just, took less money, right? What could have been for the conference? And I'm a Duck fan saying that too, so. But I appreciate greatness, and we're looking at it. Let's go, baby. 38-0 Huskies. Kind of good. Well, hopefully Michigan State, for their sanity and mental health, hopefully they put up at least like 10 to 13. It's going to be a long, long day if they can't. Girlfriend is like, when are you going to be done? We need to go to Olive Garden. I said 5:30. I assume the game will be over by then if they keep running the ball and bleeding the clock. So 67-3 record at Sioux Falls for national championship. Is that good? Woo! DeBoa.
In stores, on our app, and online.
Johnson, Nixon, Bernard. I'm just looking at your roster here. Dunzier, Polk, McMillan, Westover, Culp, who hasn't even really gotten the ball yet. Culp is like the last guy, but if you get him the ball, he'll rumble and bumble all over your ass. And I'm looking at your defense now, too. Bruner, Hampton, Fatui. You always have like a Pacific Islander player like Oregon. Oregon and Washington always have Samoans and Hawaiians, and they typically pan out. Look at Vita Vea. I mean, they usually have guys. Buda Baker. I mean, he's not Samoan or Hawaiian, but, obviously we know he's beast mode. I always root for your guys' players, and sometimes, Tampa and a few other teams will get some of these guys. Who's considered, Reflect, the best defensive player on Washington this year? I mean, I know there's a couple guys kind of, vying for the crown of being the best, but who's the best? Who's the best one, like, so far in your eyes, or at least what the beat writers are saying, or what the Washington fan base is saying? Next week, Oregon, Colorado, 12:30. ABC prime time. Your boy's going to either be there or I'm going to do the game here on YouTube. So yeah, McMillan doesn't need to play. Oh, idiot. Idiot. Oh, boy's out at the 1. Idiot. Someone who just lost his job, his girlfriend, and his housing. Fuck. He's like, oh, I wanted this to be a touchback. Get out of the way. Off the team. You just got cut. Lost your girlfriend. Lost your housing. Lost your scholarship. Lost everything. Ramen for dinner. That's tough. Well, that guy doesn't have any friends anymore. Transfer. Portal. Oh, brutal, 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 brutal. What's the difference? You're a Duck fan. You played the game. You understand routes and what it takes to be able to play the wide receiver tight end position on a deeper level. It's more like, how I do stats and analytics. You do it based off more like route running and precision and looking at those types of things, diet and route running and things of that nature. So we all have our little specialties. Uh-oh. What's the score of the Florida game, Finley? Girlfriend lost. Scholarship lost. Friends lost. Transfer portal activated. You're already down 38-0. What the hell are you doing? Golly.
I'm with you, Becky. I think this right foot got down before he touched the ball. It wasn't by a lot, but just barely.
Oh, 0-0. 0-0? Shit. Got to get the Gators with some points. You got to get a quarterback. You know, just like in Swamp Kings, right? You know, like if Urban Meyer didn't get Tebow, then there's no championships, period. You know, like you got to have those proper players, you know, the Brandon Spikes and then the Tim Tebows. Like you don't have those guys. There's, you know, and you don't got the quarterback yet. So at some point, hopefully that they can fire these coaches and get like a special one, an elite one to bring back Florida football. And then you can get a good quarterback at that point, and then you'll be back in the, you know, natty conversation, hopefully in the next 10 years, if that can happen. Urban Meyer to Oregon. God, why are we still replaying this shit? It's already over, 38-0. The guy lost his scholarship, lost his friends, lost his girlfriend. You know, fucking, he's done. Let's move on. Transfer portal. Let's go. Hurry up. They're challenging it. They're like, we don't want him to lose his scholarship, though. His girlfriend is nice. We don't want him to get dumped already. We were 2-0 going into this game. He's like, fuck, I got to get a new girlfriend. I fucked up. Golly. I got to transfer. Now I got to go to some other fucking school. I'm never going to the NFL. Fuck. Oh, boy, he's pissed. The guy's T-shirt in the background. The ball is on the one. That's where the ball is. The ball. Transfer portal. This is a pity call. They're like, well, you're already down 38-0. We're going to give you this call, and we're going to try to get you a first down. We're going to assist you with the first down. So that way it won't be 45-0. The guy's like, yes, I get to keep my girlfriend. Yes. I have friends now. Yes. Girlfriend kept. Friends kept. Scholarship kept. Ball on the 20. Now it would be the most hilarious shit now if they get a pick six and they score. They're like, all that for the Washington pick six or fumble for touchdown. That would be hilarious. Nay. First down and 10. Shotgun set. Handoff and a gain of nothing. What's new? Latuli. Atuputulala. Tupalala. All the names that are hard to pronounce, but they're damn good. All the Pacific Islanders, all the Samoan players, all the Hawaiians. Come to UW and Oregon, baby. We love you. Shotgun set. Pressure off the edge. Get him! Throws it to someone on the bench. You don't get any points for that. $38-0 UW. Devils is happy about a win. Duke. And we ain't talking Bobby Hurley, Grant Hill, or Christian Laettner, baby. Oh, big hit. First down, Spartans. Move the chains. ZTF to LB. Okay. Yeah, as long as he's not Zion Williamson and gets hurt and eats too many cheeseburgers, I think he'll be fine. Flag on the play. Oh yeah. I'd be shocked if there's a receiver that goes off the board before Marvin. I mean, that's a franchise wide receiver. That could be like the next Amon-Ra St. Brown or Garrett Wilson. So then he can join, Chase and Jay Jetta. But I think right now the two best receivers in the league right now, hands down, are Justin Jefferson and Tyreek Hill. And like every time we think that Jamar Chase is better or some other guy is better, they're not. I mean, the guy still is elusive, and if Tua is healthy, I mean, he's the only guy in the NFL, in my opinion, that can get 200 yards. Like the only other guy that could do it is Justin Jefferson, but Kirk Cousins can't throw the ball deep enough to get those kind of yards, but Tua to Tyreek, he can make that happen with those long bombs or a screen, and then Tyreek can do the rest. Like Tyreek can take a 2-yard screen 80 yards for a touchdown. I'm not saying that Jay Jetta can't, but Cousins and the route tree, they kind of play a little differently. But those are the two best receivers in the game right now. It's pretty clear. Even though some people had Tyreek like number 5, number 4, number 3. No, he's number 2, and he has been. And as good as Jamar Chase is, I mean, he ain't Tyreek. Chase is really, really good too, but he ain't Tyreek. But it's cool to be able to see the next wave of guys, Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I think Marvin Harrison Jr. will be that next guy that will add to that group as well to be in the top 10. And then guys like Devontae Adams, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, they start sliding down the top 10 order a spot. So if you were 5, you go to 6. 6 goes to 7. 7 goes to 8. And there has to be room made for the newbies coming in. So 38-0 Huskies. 3-0 Iowa, baby. See, it helps being an Iowa fan and then knowing about what players are good and then drafting TJ Hawkinson and looking like a fucking genius. And then now you're projected to win this week by like 20. And I think that the Sanders, I'm not sure if it's going to be a guy that you're going to have for the whole year, but I think it could be. And then you could drop Gay and get a different kicker if you want to get 2 good ones. I know you have him because Colts, but if he keeps sucking, get rid of him and get someone better. So that way you can have 2 good kickers back and forth. But I think the Zay Jones and Sanders thing could really benefit you. Now, Zay Jones, are you ever going to play him? Probably not, but it's just good insurance, for where your receivers, if they have a bye week, so if you need to plug and play someone, you can. So you're good. Sometimes, you don't want to have paralysis by analysis. Trust me, I do it. I'm on the fantasy app I'm on it right now. I always keep looking at my team over and over and over and think, how can I improve this team? How can I get an advantage over everyone else in the league? But let me look at your team real quick. All right. So you are projected for 109.9, and Chief is at 118, but he's got Josh Allen struggling. McCaffrey will beast. Madison got a 5, so you're good there. Devonta Adams is, hit or miss sometimes. Scary Terry, hit or miss. Waller, hit or miss. He's got Kadarius Toney in the flex. I have no idea why. Okay, because the guy's got stone hands, and I wouldn't even have Toney on my team. I would have given him the boot. But if he wants to put Toney in and Toney gets a 0 and then you end up winning, then I guess that's up to Chief. He's got Saints D and then McPherson. He's got Pacheco, Brooks, Robinson, Prescott. Dulcich is injured. So, I mean, if it was me, I like everyone on Chief's bench, I wouldn't even have on my roster except for maybe Dak. So it shows you, if you don't upgrade your team, you're only going to be so good. right? So like I'm looking at his bench. I wouldn't even roster it. One player on his bench out of like the 7 or 8 spots, except for Dak. Everyone else I would drop. Shit, I would drop some of the guys that he has in the starting lineup too. But you got Lamar, Kenneth Walker the third, Herbert, Khalil Herbert, DK Metcalf, Ayuk, Higbee, Tutu Atwell, Niner D, and Nick Folk. And I had Nick Folk. I dropped him. You picked him up. I had Bills D. I dropped it. You picked him up. I had Juwan Johnson. I dropped him. You picked him up. So pretty much you just pick up the players that I drop. And, it doesn't mean that they suck. It just means that I'm moving on. And that maybe that, but if I had them on my team at one point or another, I probably think pretty highly of them. So, and you got Najee on the bench, Myers on the bench, Dalvin Cook on the bench, Carr on the bench, Richardson on the bench, Juwan Johnson on the bench in Buffalo. So Megan's like, whatever Orion has and let's go of, I'm going to pick that up. And you've done that with Bills D, Juwan Johnson, and I think that, and Nick Folk. So there we go. So I wouldn't worry about it. I think your team is fine. Based on what you have on the bench, there's no one I would plug in. Najee has to prove to you and me that he's worthy of being in the lineup, and he's going against Cleveland D, so he's probably going to get like 5 yards. Myers is good, but if you want to give Folk a try, you can go that route. Dalvin Cook deserves to be on the bench. You have Carr, but you got Lamar and you got Richardson, who are probably better options. But Carr is going against Carolina D, which might be shaky. And then Higbee over Juwan Johnson, and then definitely Niners D over Bills. You're good. So if I look at that team, you have everything in your power, even though you're projected to lose by 9, you're in the spot to overachieve. Like you didn't think you were going to win last week and you were projected to lose. And then Ayuk ended up getting you 1 billion points and you won. So sometimes when you get a guy that puts up 2 tutties and then you can end up getting like 35 points, sometimes that's good enough to win in fantasy with one good player. So now don't worry about it. You're good. No, don't drop Najee. No. Because even though he might be putting up shit stats in the beginning, you got to give it at least. I mean, he's a starting running back until other guys get hurt, because there could get a point where Najee ends up putting up, 10 to 20 points. You just have to wait. So there's not going to be anyone in the running back wire that has higher potential than him, at least for now. That's a starter. Everyone else is an RB2, a fill-in. So just keep him on your bench for about a month, and if he continues to put up 5 points or less for a month, then you can get rid of him. But don't get rid of him until, about a month. You want to give him a good month and see if he can at least put up 10 points one time. And if he at least puts up 10 or more, then you can hang on to him for the rest of the season. But yeah, he's definitely underperformed for sure. All right, I'm going to flip it from the TV to online to see if it'll make it different. All right, let me turn this off. So I'm going to turn the TV off, and I'm going to do the stream on the computer. And hopefully this will be. I'm hoping. Yeah, leave him on your bench, because like I said, if you actually look to see what he's done in the past, I mean, he's typically a guy that gets yards. All right, hold on. I got to get out of this. This is going too slow. All right, hold on. I got to turn Peacock back on through my TV. Give me a sec. I got to close out some windows. Hopefully that'll make a difference. Hold up. Peacock. Yeah, but just leave him. You just want to. Najee Harris has been disappointing, just like a lot of running backs. But a guy, if you go back and look to see, what he's done, he's typically a guy that can put up 10 to 30 points. You just don't know if that offensive line is going to get better. Now Deontay Johnson is hurt, so that means maybe more opportunities for Najee. But the O-line stinks for the Steelers. And then they also have Cameron Hayward injured. So it's like, the Steelers look like they could be a team. Like in preseason, they went 3-0, and all the Steeler fans in the reaction video said that I was an idiot because they're going to go to the Super Bowl and they're going to win it with Kenny Pickett, and they're going to win the AFC North. Now we're 1 weekend, and now I look like the smart one, and they look like the idiot. So, you got to be able to give it time, and a lot of times, like, thinking that Kenny Pickett's going to lead you to the Super Bowl, and then you get slapped in the mouth by the Niners, and we'll see what happens week 2. So, no, 3 quarterbacks is not too many. You just want to be able to have guys that you can rotate, but most people will have 1 or 2. 2 is good. 3 is if you have a quarterback injury. Like I had Justin Herbert last year and he was hurt. So then I picked up Geno and Justin Fields so that way I could rotate because I couldn't trust Justin Herbert because he was injured, right? But if your quarterback isn't injured, then you probably are okay with 2. You know what I'm saying? So, fumble. So, like, if it was me, I would have to look at the rankings. Let me look at see what you got. Hold on. Let me look at the rankings here. Because if you drop like Carr and pick up another good piece, that could be valuable. But Lamar is ranked 27th at quarterback, which is not good because he had a crappy week 1. Carr is ranked 16th, which is average, 14.6 week 1. Easier opponent week 2. And Richardson is ranked 6th. So Richardson is actually ranked your best quarterback, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be your best quarterback all year. So, but it's not like you would necessarily let go of Lamar. Like if you're going to get rid of one, I would probably get rid of Carr and keep Lamar and Richardson. That's who I would keep. Richardson looks like he could be a good fantasy quarterback. Hell, at some point, Richardson might be your starting quarterback. You know what I mean? Because if he can keep up putting rushing touchdowns and throwing touchdowns, then he turns into kind of a Justin Fields dual threat. So even though Lamar is the bigger name, but if he sucks and he can't move the ball and Andrews is hurt, then sometimes you have to make that decision to go with the rookie instead. So it's not about name recognition. It's about stats. So no, you're good. It's up to you. If you think that he's going to do well, I mean, you could, all 3 quarterbacks, we'll see. I mean, Lamar might play bad again, but if Andrews plays, probably play better. Andrews might score a touchdown or 2, right? Carr's playing against a shitty defense, but they're probably going to hand the ball off a lot, even though it's against the Panthers, right? And then Richardson's going against the Texans. And isn't that who Lamar played week 1 and he had a shitty week? So even though that Richardson got 20 points week 1, what happens if you put him in and he puts up a 6? So, I probably would keep Lamar in there. That would probably be the safest quarterback to put in there for now, especially if Mark Andrews is playing, because you got to think that he's going to go to him unless Andrews has a re-aggravation and then goes out after the first quarter, second quarter. I hope that doesn't happen. So, yeah.
That was going to be the first 3 and out today in the Washington offense. On the field. Second time that.
But it shows you like how intelligent you have to be in fantasy. It's not just luck. Luck sometimes has something to do with it, but you have to have a good draft and you have to know everyone in the league. If you don't, you're not going to be as good compared to someone like me or like Sarah or someone that knows everyone, and then on top of that, I know the sleepers, because I'll go deeper and I'll read more and watch more film and I'll click on all the fucking names so I can see exactly what I'm working with. Most people don't do that. Like most people are not going to sit there in fantasy and click on every fucking name that's on the wire, like looking at the position, how many targets, I'm always looking for like sleepers. South Florida false started. No, you're good. Keep asking questions. Hell, you were in 10th place, right? In your 18-man league, that league doesn't fucking matter. You can honestly just quit that league. It's not even important. Like, what are you supposed to prove? Like, you got put into an 18-man league, and they tried to take advantage of you because you're a girl, and this is the first time that you're playing, thinking that they could scoop up some good players from you for nothing. That's not a part of a league I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of a league where they actually try to help me to win. That makes me want to do fantasy again, not try to rip me off, 18-man league. It's the silliest shit I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, but you actually might make the playoffs or be a top 5 team in our league, and that's pretty good. Like I said, you just follow what I do. You listen to me and the other people that are in the room that are good at fantasy, and you'll learn. You'll start to see what I see, But it also will show you, like, you thought you knew football prior to this season doing fantasy, and you start to realize you didn't know anything. Like, Seahawks, but like compared to like knowledge as the league as a whole, it was like, oh my God, like I'm way over my head. Like, but you start to realize how much knowledge that we actually have in this room. You know, it's like we got smarter people in this room than any other channel, like by far. Like there's other channels that have more people in them, you know, or more subs or more popular. But as far as like intelligence, yeah, you're not going to be able to match up to us here because we read more here. We watch film more here. It's one thing to watch your team, but a lot of us are going to be watching like many, many, many teams. That's the difference. That's the separation from NWSF and everyone else. Nice spiral by Michael Penix Jr. Beautiful. All right, Reflect. I'll let you know if they come back and lose, which won't happen. 38-0. Huskies. They're knocking on the door again. Penix Jr. got all the time in the world back there making a sandwich. Subway. Quiznos. Incomplete. Oh, we got another sub in the room. Thank you so much. 28 to go. Let's go. 28 subs to 20,000, y'all. Exciting. And I saw that T.O. and Stephen A. are beefing right now, which I love because Stephen A. is a punk, you know, and T.O. was like, Max Kellerman is more of a brother than you, you know, and you got him fired and we don't like you. And you know what? I'm not the biggest T.O. guy out there, but T.O. does have a point. Have you ever seen Max Kellerman freestyle rap back when he was in his teens and 20s? You know, Kellerman's an OG, you know what I'm saying? And like Stephen A. is a bitch. I don't like him. You know what I mean? There's just certain people that are out there, and I get it. You worked really, really hard to get where you were, but you're always wrong, and you always scream and yell, and you're never right in predictions. Your hot takes are always wrong. All you are is a personality, you know, and you're not even a good one. So, you know, it's just crazy to me how people go out of their way to watch a guy like that. But, you know, I guess if you want to, you know, claim sports knowledge off Stephen A., then you're only going to be as smart as him, which is not smart at all. I mean, I just wish we didn't have to have people as annoying as Skip and Stephen A., where they're just fake, like the fakest people on planet Earth. It's annoying. You know, sport fans deserve to be able to have more people like, you know, Shannon and Pat McAfee and NWSF, people that are going to call it how they see it, not people that just scream and yell and have horrible takes. I love it that T.O. is ripping up fucking Stephen A. And on top of that, making like fucking $8-9 million a year to be wrong all the time. You know, it's one thing to be a weatherman and a weatherwoman and being wrong, but to get paid $8-9 million a year to be annoying and to be wrong all the time and have horrible takes. I mean, what the hell is America doing? Like, they need to start realizing there's other talent out there that's better, that will get you better ratings on your network, that will actually be respected. And I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're Mexican, you're Asian. I mean, I'm mixed race. You know, I'm not racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll listen to any brother or any Caucasian dude, any Mexican dude, any Asian dude or female. You know, but the bottom line is you're either real or you're a fake ass. And, there's a lot of fakes out there. Field goal attempt for Washington. Kick is up. And it off the goalpost. Doink. And it's good. 41-0 Huskies. Oh, yeah. And the ratings have gone downhill. You think anyone and their mama cares about Keyshawn? No offense to Richard Sherman, you know, and the little panel that they have now. You know, no one gives a shit about that panel anymore. You know what? You're just going to have three loudmouth dudes yelling with Skip. Like, you know, no one's going to care. Like, Richard Sherman at least is intelligent. You know, so obviously he went to Stanford, so I don't really have a problem with him. You know, but Michael Irvin, I don't care for. Keyshawn, you're loud and stupid. And then you got Stephen A. No one cares. Like, what is going to make me want to listen to four dudes yelling about something that doesn't even make sense? I mean, if I want to be able to see four dudes yelling, I'll watch a World Star video and someone will get knocked out at the end. At least I'll get the pleasure of seeing that. Okay? Ridiculous. Alabama scored late, 17-3. God, they're terrible. Yeah, Sherman's intelligent. Regardless if you watched him at, Stanford, his podcast, when he was on the Seahawks and Niners, like I respect him. You know what I mean? Like I said, a lot of people want to judge him based off his looks. They're like, this guy's just some like ghetto dude. He's not smart, but he's actually more intelligent than probably 99% of the fucking players that are in the NFL, black or white. So I respect him. You know what I mean? But that panel is not good. That panel is terrible. And now you got Stephen A. and Shannon, and obviously Stephen A. probably, feels good that at least even though he gets called Skip, 5 times a day on that show, he knows that Skip lost, the star of the show. And then obviously you gain someone that people are not going to watch for Stephen A. They're going to watch for Shannon. And if people think that they're watching for Stephen A., the only people that think that is Stephen A. himself. No, tacos and rice. Yeah. And also KJ has got a little podcast that that he does as well, and I've seen a couple clips with Pete Carroll and a few other people that are on there, and KJ Wright is pretty well spoken, and then they have some Seahawk players on there, and it's actually pretty cool. Like, I'm not a Seahawk fan myself, but there's certain podcasts from like players or former players, like the Kelce's, Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce. That one is worth watching. But there's a lot of people that are out there, like former players, like let's say Shady McCoy, who's a fucking moron. And anything that he says is just dog shit. So it's like you get these people, just because you played running back doesn't mean you're good on the microphone. You're fucking terrible. But again, these executives don't realize that. They're like, well, he played in the NFL. Give him a microphone. That doesn't mean he's smart. He's a fucking idiot. His takes are horrible. So they have to start realizing there might be people out there that didn't play football that might be better on the mic, that might be on YouTube, Twitch, or somewhere else. Facts. 41-0 Huskies. Shotgun set. Pass incomplete. Now Michigan State gets points now. The Spartans, for every first down they get 6 points. And even that being said, they probably still wouldn't come back. That's bad. Yeah, but I think the sports talk world on TV and podcasts, it's at its all-time low. It's never been worse. Like, literally, it's as worse than it's ever been. So, which is pretty fucking sad. But I feel with like YouTube, it's been at its point where it's at its very best. You're actually getting talent on YouTube that's better than TV and on podcasts. It's just up to the NFL and these networks to realize that. I mean, obviously the NFL now is on YouTube for Sunday Ticket. So at some point or another, these other networks have to start realizing maybe plucking the best YouTubers that cover football would be the smart thing to do before another network scoops someone up. Or at least offer a job, even though a lot of YouTubers would say no. Christopher Bell wins stage 1. Nice. Yeah, but I don't know. I only like real people. I don't like fakes. I don't like associating with liars and fakes. And like I said, the only show that honestly is worth watching, there's 2. And one is good, Pat McAfee show, but then going on ESPN, it's watered down, not as good. And Good Morning Football, even though it's not as good without Kay and without Nate Burleson on there. Jamie Erdahl is on there and McCourty's on there, and it's okay. But the show went from being like a 10 with chemistry to now it's like, I don't know, a 6. It's like, is it watchable? Yeah, but it's definitely not as good. Now, do I watch it every morning? Yeah, because I have to. There's nothing else to watch. So it's like Good Morning Football, Pat McAfee, and there's nothing else worth watching unless you go onto YouTube and you're watching like shows like us here or some of the other YouTubers that are out there that cover sports. Incomplete. God, Michigan State sucks. They're just getting obliterated. 4th down and 6. Washington defense trying to get the shutout. Yeah, everyone does. I mean, that's why if someone offered me a job and they're like, yeah, you're going to be on a network, but you can't swear, you can't wear a bandana, you can't wear jerseys, you can't wear a chain, you can't say fucking shit and bitch. Well, I don't want it then, because I'm not going to. It's not going to be real. It's going to be a fake show. What? I'm just going to have a headset on with a tie and shit. Like, no, that it's going to totally take away who I am. I have to be real. And that's why people like Pat McAfee, because wearing tank tops and shorts, that's kind of like what I do too. I'm real, and Pat's real. He's the realest, one of the realest motherfuckers on planet Earth. That's why people are attracted to who he is. It doesn't matter that he was on the Colts or he's a punter. He's got a cool personality and he's real. He treats his friends, with a lot of compassion, and he cares. He's real. How many people are real? Not a lot. Even the cast of Good Morning Football isn't real. Lots of fakes out there. Okay, we got the backup in now. I feel you, Jason. I'm the same way. Shotgun set, halfback toss. Nice run. Well, it's if you're owned by those networks, they will force him at some point within maybe I don't know, a couple years. Go, baby, go. First down, Huskies. You know what I mean? But like, you want things to be authentic, but once you sell out and you're making millions and millions of dollars, then they can control your content, how you look, how you speak, how you talk, and then it ends up not being the authentic show that we fell in love with. Like, I wouldn't even want to do my show on the network if I couldn't swear or wear what I wanted. But I would assume that they will, try to force him to wear like a blazer. Like, they're like, okay, you can wear a tank top, but you got to wear a blazer over it. They're going to try to, work their, corporate ways onto him and the staff. And then he'll just tell the boys, well, we're getting paid millions of dollars. We have to wear a suit now. And what are they going to say? Okay, boss, let's wear the suit and tie. Do they want to wear the suit and tie? No. But when you start making millions of dollars and it starts changing your life, then money changes people. Sometimes not for the better. That's why people are like, sell out. But if you get millions of dollars, it's different, especially if you were not really well off, Some of those guys were like his friends and they were not well off. They were probably making 50 grand a year or less. Now, a lot of those guys on the panel, his boys, they're set for life. Their kids are set for life. They're set. So, definitely Pat, helped out a lot of his bros. Brought them along for the ride. And if he didn't have those bros, then the show isn't as good as it was either. You have to remember that too. It's not just Pat, it's the crew. Michael Penix Jr., highlight after highlight after highlight. All right, no problem. Get better. I appreciate you. Ducks game about to start.
I think Caleb Williams is the best college quarterback in football right now, but this would be my number 2. I don't think it's my wide margin or anything like that. I'm really impressed with this kid.
Yeah, Michael Penix Jr., the second best quarterback in college football. All right, talk soon. I mean, at this point, since this game is 41-0, I might as well just call the Duck game at this point. I mean, I got to go, obviously, once this game is over, but. I mean, is there anyone in the room right now that's watching that would care that if I started calling the Duck game instead, or that they want me to continue doing this 41-0 obliteration? Michael Penix Jr. is out of the game now, so it's the backup. So there's no real reason to keep doing this game, honestly. And if I can squeeze in a little bit of Oregon Ducks while I'm here, I mean, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the Duck game now. All right, I'm turning this off. I'm going into the Duck game. At least that way I can squeeze it in for a little bit. All right, hold up. I mean, I would have done this duck game too, so I don't like missing duck games, but if it's gonna come on, let's see. Hold up. Oregon game was supposed to start at 5. Why is it not on yet? Oh, ducks. We just went from a Husky stream to a duck stream in a matter of 10 seconds. But they're showing Washington State 64, Northern Colorado 21. Oh, we just go from Michigan State to Oregon. Technology. Turn the Oregon game on, damn it. Pac-12 Network has to wait for this son of a bitch to end. Oh, now they've delayed it until 5:12. They delayed the duck game. All right, might as well go to the Peacock for a second now. All right, duck game's coming on in 12 minutes. They're just going to wait. All right, let me turn down the UW game still. All right, so someone remind me in like 10 minutes. Commercial break now. All right, baby. All right, let me flip everything back here just for the time being. Let's go back to the Washington game for 10 minutes. All right. 41-0. Rain coming down in Bristol. Uh-oh. Are they going to delay it? 41-0 Huskies. My Ducks are about to come on here in about 7 minutes. And I'm going to Olive Garden here in a little bit. So, but I'll watch the Ducks and I'll watch the Dodgers and Mariners. And hopefully the Mariners can get a dub, get a little payback from last night, a little handoff, short game. Now Washington's going to be bleeding the clock. So normally I would have done Oregon, but sometimes you got to be able to spend time with the people that you care about and that you love. And you got to be, especially if we both have busy schedules. And if I only get 1 or 2 days a week, we want to make sure we're making the most of that. So drivers are out, covers on the cars. Shit. Montrell Johnson. There we go, Finley. Oregon, USC, Washington, UCLA. I mean, obviously the Big Ten chose the right 4 teams. I mean, I wouldn't have, if Colorado was to join the Big Ten instead of UCLA, I would have been cool with that. Or Utah would have joined. That would have been cool too. But even though UCLA is the worst out of those 4 teams, Chip Kelly develops good NFL players. So, Jake Bobo, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, you never know what Chip might be able to develop. And if Chip can get recruiting, they could be there with Wisconsin and Iowa on that second tier of teams. So, all right, another commercial. This game is over. And my girlfriend went downtown to an art exhibit too. So making her way up here. Oh, that's interesting. The drivers are still in, so what they're trying to decide how many laps are left in the NASCAR race. Like, are we talking like 50, 100? What are we talking? How many laps are left? If I can get a little bit of Oregon Duck football before I have to go, that would be ideal. But it's on Pac-12, so they obviously have to wait, based off the contract for the first game to end before they go into the next game. And we already know Oregon's going to win by a shitload. So Washington State 64, Northern Colorado 21. It's a blot. Only 138 in. Of how many laps total? Exposure so that he can get more subscribers to his channel, and connections and whatnot. And then at some point it'll be a bidding war, ESPN, Fox Sports, they when the contract is up or whatever. You know what I mean? Rain is starting up at 10 Eastern and not stop till 6. Wow. 500 total. Well, they got a long time to be able to get that done. All right, Washington State, 4:45 left in the fourth quarter. They weren't supposed to start this Duck game in 3 minutes. They were supposed to start the Duck game at 5. So we're just waiting on this. Like, fucking run the ball, Northern Colorado, you ass. Like, you lost already by like 50. Just end the game. Both backups are in for Washington and Michigan State. Little rollout, bootleg. And what happened to my hands? Brutal. I'm so hungry, though. I'm ready. I'm ready for some Olive Garden soup, breadsticks, fettuccine Alfredo, chicken with the crispy chicken. If you've never had the crispy chicken, try it. It's insane. They usually do the grilled, but if you do the crispy one, game over. 41-0 Huskies. Noah Kim, 12 for 31, 136 yards, no tutties, and 1 pick. Terrible. But that's what happens when you play a UW. What happened to my hands? Another drop. 4th and 12. And oh boy, that dropped it was the guy that should have had the out at the 1 yard line. Right? Lost his friends, lost his girlfriend, lost his scholarship. Right? Golly. I was actually hoping Michigan State was going to keep it close within at least like 14 to 17. I didn't expect Michigan State to be 2-0 and put up a 0, but I'm still glad that I did the matchup. Fair caught at the 20. Just run the football, damn it. I got to keep bouncing around and see if the duck game is going to come on because I'd rather watch something that's meaningful than 41-0 for a couple minutes. They still got this damn Washington State game on with 4 minutes to go. Oh, well. Let's take a look at the sub count. Let's see where we're at. Oh, man, I want this Olive Garden. I'm going to have to wait probably 45 minutes, but it'll be worth it. All right, commercial. It's like I would love to be able to at least watch a couple minutes of this duck game live before I have to go. My friend is at Walmart now, just like waiting for me to finish up. So, and then Sarah, what should we do for tomorrow? Should we just end up? Should I just? I'm going to be back, at lunchtime, so I can do reaction videos. So I'll be able to do that. But I guess it just depends on if we want to do Dolphins Patriots or if I just do reaction videos the whole day tomorrow. Pick Colorado over Colorado State. Yeah, everyone is going to pick Colorado. Colorado State has 0% chance of winning. I mean, I don't really want to miss Sunday Night Football, but again, if it'll help us get more subs and views on those reaction videos, I guess it just depends on how good those morning games are. And if the morning games are good, and I actually have content that's worth doing more than 2 reaction videos that I need to get out, then we might skip. But I don't know. I don't really want to skip Sunday Night Football if we don't have to, especially if I can get to see Tua and Tyreek. I mean, I haven't been able to see that, so, and Waddle. I mean, even though it's New England's kind of boring, but I do like Christian Gonzalez for my Ducks. So, but I'll just try to bust out maybe like 2 or 3 reaction videos, do Sunday Night Football, do 1 or 2 after if I can, and then just bust out all Monday until Monday Night Football and do as many as I can, even if I have to wake up early, and I think we'll be fine. Because you need to put them out within Sunday and Monday. Once you start putting them out on Tuesday and Wednesday, it's like too late. Here we go. Go. First down, Huskies. Move the chains. Was that intercepted? Wow. They got an interception. It's a miracle. Yeah, and then obviously Dion, had his own little sunglasses line, and now all the celebrities have them, and now that stock is going up. Like anything Dion does or says or puts out, it like turns into platinum. So, I mean, it's not like Colorado needs any other motivation. People are just jealous. Yeah, it's not on yet because it's on Pac-12 Network. They have to wait for that Washington State game to end first. Short game. If Michigan State gets a first down, we're going to give them 6 points. Oh, I guess the Oregon game has started. They said, fuck it, we can't wait on you anymore. Oregon touchdown. Bo Nix to Tez Johnson. 49-yard tutty. Son of a bitch. Let me watch it, damn it. No one cares about this damn UW game anymore. Now I can go watch it in my living room. Okay, now it's coming on. All right, this game just ended. All right, hold up. All right, let me swap that out. All right, we should be going good here. All right, final score, a lot to a little. No one gives a shit. All right, let's go to something that actually fucking matters for a few minutes before my girlfriend shows up, and then I can at least get a little bit of this Ducks in. And just like that, we left Spartanville, and now here we are. Here we are. Now they just got to switch it over. All right, hopefully they switch it over here. I mean, we already missed the first fucking touchdown. Here we go. 6-0 Ducks. Extra point is up, and it's good. I might have to go put my gloves on, even if it's only going to be on for a little bit. Yeah, it's on Pac-12 Network. Can I get a replay of this Tez Johnson touchdown, please? Okay, everyone's hungry for Olive Garden. Go Ducks, go Mariners. Yeah, it's on Pac-12 Network, but if you need a link. So I got to change the scoreboard too. Boom. And just like that, we're in Eugene, my home away from home. Get his ass. There we go. Nice hit. And I assume that we're going to end up winning this game by a fuckload. So Oh, all the tacos, all the rice. Get him! Incomplete. On 2nd down and 5. Oregon 7, Hawaii 0. Hopefully I get a replay of that touchdown. I imagine I'll see it at a commercial or something. Let's go Ducks. Yeah, I'm not going to get a lot of time in. I mean, what do you think? I mean, we're getting closer. We're going to hit 20,000 subs. You know, it might happen within a couple days. You know what I mean? So, picked off. Yeah. There we go. Ducks with the pick. I mean, I could do reaction videos and do that, but like, how many more subs are we going to get and views? I know some of the videos, if you put them out earlier, you have a better chance to get over 1,000. You know, and like I said, even with me doing it with Sunday Night Football, I still had 4 videos with over 1,000. So I don't know how much of a difference it would make, but we'll just wait. We'll just wait to see how the morning games go, and then I'll let you know what we're going to do tomorrow. But I'm going to be home tomorrow at like noon, 12:30. So incomplete. Yeah, I'll let you know. All right. Well, I think at this point, I'm going to go into the living room so I can watch this live and not watch it on a link and whatnot. So I appreciate everyone that came in. And let me go back to my regular screens that I was on so we can go back and change it here real quick. So we'll go here. But I think I just want to be able to watch it at that point, and then and we'll go from there. So enjoy your night. Hope everything works out. You got a good meal there that you're about to have. Let's change the other page. Obviously for the UW game, which is an absolute blowout, 41-0, 7:47 left. And we'll go into the thumbnail. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone that came in, that donated, commented, shared, subscribed. We're getting a little bit closer to that number. We're 28 subs away from 20,000. Very, very exciting. And again, we'll be back tomorrow with some reaction videos and Sunday Night Football, more than likely. Doubleheader Monday night. We're going to end up doing not the Steelers and Browns. We're going to do the Panthers and the Saints. That's going to be the better game. So that's the one that we're going to do. So I appreciate everyone. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.